Live from my basement, it's Thursday night. Woo!
You said not to throw it. So.
Yes. So for those, if you haven't gathered by now, for the many times for our faithful watchers that watch every week, you know that our crew comes with their dinner, and this is 6 p.m. Central Time, and that's often dinner time for a lot of us here. And some of you are coming straight from work, so I understand. You bring your dinner, we eat here, and as we often do. So they're just finishing up right as we start. Often it's happening. But we are here. Is Thursday night. We are here. Dave's Imaginations presents The Ire of Mordroc. But really, segue or subchapter of Isle of Dread. As our adventurers have traveled to the Isle of Dread. They're searching for a band of pirates because as payment for their sailing ship to the Isle of Dread, they agreed to help the militia out of Port Nyanzaru bring at least one pirate to justice, dead or alive, and find their pirate lair. And so that is what we're currently working on. And I've set their pirate lair in the greater Isle of Dread area, either Isle of Dread or one of its many little islands. We're doing a true, as Isle of Dread is, the classic module is, this is the Goodman Games 5th edition version of it. It is a hex crawl. Now, in the Isle of Dread game, the hex crawl is really just the interior of the island. I've expanded that to the entire map. And that is what we have on screen. As we have right here, we go 4 wide. As we go on screen in the upper left quadrant, we have our map and the hex. I put the map in. I broke it up into 3 different slides of a PowerPoint presentation. I painstakingly made all these little hexes for us to travel and explore. We've been doing about 3 hexes a day until the boat broke down. Because last week we encountered the sea serpent. A great sea serpent was wrapped around, coiled around the ship and was about to kill you all until you started taking off all your clothes and eating the shrieking eels and flopping around on the ground all crazy like. But that satisfied the sea serpent, and he decided that you are one of his kin, and so they left the boat alone. But that wasn't before we lost 3 more of the crew. We've lost 4 crew, and I think I said there's 30 total, which seems like a lot for this boat. But we said there's 30 crew total.
Well, you'd be able to lose some.
Well, they all wear the red shirts, right? Yeah. The red shirts.
Working shifts.
But, so we lost 3 more crew, and we lost the anchor. But as we rolled for a land, we did find land, and which happened to be a cove, a cave inlet into the cliff face of this, what do you call this, bay? I called it a bay. In the bay of the northern part of the Isle of Dread, we found a cave bay, and you went in there, and there happened to be another ship, all dead and broken down. But that ship still had its anchor, and as well as a bunch of angry sea lions. Sure, we'll call them kind of sea lions, and
I didn't catch that. Could you do
that? The sea lions, but also we saw that there's a bunch of cairns of dead people as they shipwrecked here and they didn't survive.
So is it correct that this area hasn't been mapped before? We don't have a map of these islands?
You don't have... So I might go as far as to say there's probably a map of Isle of Dread? But the Isle of Dread is just one of the isles of the Mother of Mists, and so apparently not.
Does that mean we can name?
Yes, you can name these islands. I said you could last time. A couple of episodes, because we had the Earth Island, right?
Yeah.
We talked about naming.
My only request is that we name one of the bays, Bay.
Bays Babe.
Bays.
Bay.
Bays Bay.
Bays Bay.
Bay Bay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, if you want to call this Bay Bay, you can call this Bay Bay. And we call it Nay Nay. Or isn't there some song? I don't know.
Something like that. Yes.
Me, my 54-year-old self, are not all hip with the modern pop music, and I'm not sure that's a modern pop. That might be. Isn't there something like a baby?
That's pretty old.
It's pretty old. Yeah, it's probably. See, even if it's the last 10 years, I probably don't. I listen to classic rock. That's pretty much what I listen to. If I slide into modern rock, okay, but not much modern. I know Taylor Swift, who's the same as every other female artist. Thank you, Chris McClelland. As that will, I just lost half my viewership right there just by that little slander.
Well, you're gonna piss off the Swifties, and if you piss off the Swifties, then they come after you.
Yeah. So, I think she's just fine. Nothing against Travis Kelce's girlfriend. I do watch football.
And I have the screen grab of the one shot they had of her at the Super Bowl, where she came up to the box and was like, "They're losing? They can lose? What?"
Yeah. Our token Philadelphia fan. Not token. We have two of them.
That's right.
We have two of them.
You let two of them into your house?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, who's the other one?
Christian. Oh yeah, he's a big Philadelphia
He's a
fan.
big.
You're a Pittsburgh fan.
I'm a Pittsburgh fan. How's that here in Central Illinois? I don't know, but
Just as much sense.
it makes just as much sense. It's not like I went to school in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So that is kind of the recap. Now, yesterday do we have any viewers? Anyone sign in? As we have our man on the
He
machine.
doesn't need the YouTube up anymore.
Just me.
So
Just you. Okay, yeah. Yeah, don't need
2
to have
likes
it.
though.
What's that?
2 likes.
2 likes. Excellent. There's probably Jarrett and Christian. Okay, so when we left off, they were fixing the ship, right? And they said, hey, this is going to take a whole day to do, right? We got to take the anchor off, move it over, assemble it, all that stuff. And you said, fine, we're going to climb this mountain. And so you took the day to climb up to the top of the mountain. You got to the top of the mountain with your telescope. I always want to call it periscope. Your telescope, and you're looking down over the Bays Bay. The Bay. You look, and you see this stretch, and I gave you this whole bay.
that is if Bay, except is this Bay good enough for Bay?
Sure. I mean, it's got mystery. Seems to be a pirate cove. Sure.
Okay.
I'll accept it.
Okay. He accepts.
Yeah. Is that a nickname for him?
Well, Bay.
Oh, because your
His
character's
character.
Bay. Yes.
Yes.
This-
That's where it
oh,
came from.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were just making a play on Bay.
No.
Okay, of course. Bay is Ken's character. Makes sense. This is Bay's Bay. There'll be a different one that is Jeff the Jump Bay.
We'll have to come up with a good pun for that one.
Van Halen's Cove.
The jump pier.
Anyway, so you climb up the top of the mountain, you have your telescope, and you're looking down, and you see this huge stretch of sandy, this area right here, huge stretch of sandy beach, and on that beach you happen to spot 3 humanoids huddled over something from 12 miles away. That's a good telescope. Must have been a clear day, as you were also able to see all the way across the bay to the other side. You could just see the coast on the other side. So I gave you all that. You're up there. That's what I guess we could start there if you want.
We're up on the mountain, the star,
Yep. Sure. Yes.
and the people are the little caveman down there.
Yep.
It's easily a day's journey to get there. Right? 6 miles.
Well.
Hard terrain.
Oh.
5 foot.
Yeah. I'm thinking more than you're not gonna want to walk that, right? Because that's through the mountaintops.
Mountain
Right, no,
is-
we don't.
Yeah.
That's what we're just saying.
You're gonna go back to get there. You're gonna go back on your ship, and
Right.
the next day when the ship's fine, you're gonna. If you decide you want to go down there, you see down there.
Oh.
I mean, we can't tell what they might be pirates. So,
Why don't you each give me a perception check as you each take a turn with the telescope.
What are we using?
Perception.
What perception? Yeah, you can't investigate this.
Straight 10.
4.
4. A 10?
13.
13?
18.
Yeah, so Belinda, you would see as you take your turn, maybe it was just because it was your turn, but you see a reflection off of something they're holding.
Like a glint of metal or glass or something.
You know,
Sword.
that's you would. It's consistent with a glint off a sword, perhaps, but something as they turn around, there was some flash of glint of steel, perhaps.
Okay.
And you share that.
I would tell them, yeah.
But I mean, they're tiny. They're you can't see what they're doing.
Well, it might be pirates. No?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the sneakiest?
Surely I'm the sneakiest, right?
Probably one of the 2 thieves that are here.
Well, actually, good stealth on it.
I have a +2
Yeah, plus 2.
somehow.
+4 here.
4.
But like we said, yeah. So you'll have to figure out. We'll have to talk through how you do this. So you're up on top of the mountain. You climb back down. Enough said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Climb back down. You get back to the cave. The sea lions grump at you as you come through. But you go there, and they're still working on it, right? Because you just spent all day. They say they're going to be ready to go in the morning. You have your evening, and we'll just nothing goes on. And the next morning they're ready to go. And anything else in the cove? Sea lions. The old bar. We buried our dead. I don't know those 3 that. I don't know if we even had dead bodies. There was probably some ceremony that was done as we were coming in here.
Do you want to? We didn't really investigate the boat to see if there was any hidden treasure or anything.
I think we did.
You did investigate
We
pretty
did.
Okay.
because you were looking for. Well,
I looked for the ship's bell, didn't find it.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
it was. I think we said it was picked clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had said that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in my mind, I didn't have anything else there. So, yeah, the next day they're ready to go, and we can be put out to sea, and so I think we have
It's not like being put out to pasture.
1, 2. I think we have 3 to get here, with them removed. I kind of wish I had a faint grid line.
So we'll arrive evening next day.
Yeah, so it's morning now, right? And so we have moved to the next one would be morning, afternoon, night would put you at the very bottom.
Perfect.
Do we still see the people?
Nighttime mission.
Might want to wait till the next morning.
Not
we're up on
from
the
sea
stairs.
level. Yeah, you won't be able to see the
I'm thinking
beach
stealth, we
until
get the
you
advantage of
get
darkness.
close to it.
Assuming the pirates can't see in the dark. I can. I can give one other person the ability to free hours.
So, who would like to go first on the directions?
Well, I
Sure,
mean,
I'll go. You know which direction I'll pick?
yeah, I think we all
Due
know.
south?
Yeah.
Well, we all know where
I
we're
think
going.
every time it's gonna go that
Yeah.
way.
All right, due south. The water's shallow here, but what's the weather like? What is the weather like? Occasional showers, slightly choppy, moderate winds, 10 to 20 miles an hour. Yeah. Random encounter. Noel, you wanna? Noel's not here.
Doesn't matter. Just roll.
Okay. I roll for Noel. No random encounter. We'll move that to 3. And there's no land. Move that to 3. And then afternoon. We've been doing 3 squaxes a day, right? Not just 2. Haven't we?
Yeah.
Doing 3 moves.
Morning, noon, and night. Yeah, I think so. All right, and weather. Does the weather change? The sun has come out, cloudy with occasional sun. Still 10 to 50 miles an hour. Wind out of the east. Shallow waters, 30 feet deep. Plenty of room though. And random encounter. Wes, you want to roll for a random encounter?
Sure. Christian's dice to grab.
I have a whole bowl here if you trust it. As they curls their lip and reaches for my dice. Oh.
I like orange.
A 3?
Yes.
A random encounter. I'm just gonna say no.
You are not making it look like they are not rigged.
I'm gonna say there wasn't a random encounter. Because we're going to save the random encounter for when you get to the land. Ultimately, you get... as you know the beach is coming up, you can slow down if you want to approach at night. Or you guys can direct this any way you want.
It's best to approach at night, I think.
No wants to.
Yeah, night makes sense.
However, the captain says she doesn't like getting too close to shore
Okay.
in the dark.
We can rope ourselves in,
That's
right?
even better.
What did you say, Ken?
We can rowboat ourselves in, right?
All right, and so she tries out the new anchor just at the tip of the north end of this, unless you want her to get closer.
Hour away. I want to be an hour row's boat away.
An hour rowboat away. But
Because
we
assuming they are pirates, we don't want them to see the ship.
right. So, do you want to be north, middle, or south end of that beach?
Well, middle, if we
I think.
can.
North, I think.
Where did we see the people? Do you remember? Or could we see that well?
Where that,
I don't know that you could really tell that. Well, it probably wasn't the most north because you wouldn't be able to see that very well. It was either mid or south, but who knows?
Let's go mid.
Somebody direct me.
yeah, if we think we can get to the middle without.
Well, if you
Yeah, that's where-
you're an hour's rowboat away, and you row to the middle of the beach
Do we see any fires?
in the evening, do you see any fires? What? Yes, you would see. Well, I already said yes. Yes, you see off in the cliffs that there are caves that seem to be
Illuminated?
illuminated.
Five, 10, 20?
Okay, the boat has set anchor. You've rowed up to the shore. You're in the middle of the shore. There's no cover on this beach, right? You look left, you look right. It's just beach, right? You pull your boat onto the shore. You pull the boat up a fair ways away just to make sure the tide doesn't steal your boat. Right? And as you look off, you see there's a tree line, but above the tree line you can see the hills going above, and you can see there's on the side of that hill there's a cave mouth with lights, torch, firelight flickering away.
So you're saying I can't take an action to hide?
There's
Right
not.
under the boat.
You could hide under the.
Yeah.
You could bury yourself in sand.
Right.
But just like one cave or lots of caves.
Sure. There's a cave network, but you can't really tell me because they're kind of intermersed with the tree line.
How far away are we?
You're in the middle of this beach now. you're somewhere in here, and so let me take away this and this. That's not getting away too much. I'll even give you this one.
So the mountains. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't see past the mountains. You can see that there are mountains. And not on the map is there's some amount of tree line at the bottom of those. Not a lot. There's palm trees around the base of these mountains.
Alright, so make our way to a lit cave, smaller one preferably.
Sure.
And as you go, you see you see crab claws, like the remnants of crab claws. This crab must have been 10 feet big. Huge ass crab.
They look freshly killed, or
It looks somewhat freshly killed. Yep.
any signs of litter, garbage.
Well, other than the leftovers from the crab that they didn't take, not really, not civilized garbage.
Excellent.
Yeah,
No plastic bags. Or,
yeah. There's no Walmart bags.
you know, pirates aren't very respectful, so maybe they would just leave stuff lying around.
Well,
Aquafina bottles,
there's no pier here.
Correct.
There's no pier.
You look up and down the beach. You don't see any
Place
type
where
of.
you would, tie off your.
There's no place for a little boat, let alone a large boat.
I don't know. That's a good point.
well, could be pirates, could be natives.
I think, to me, the odds are it's natives, not. Because, again, no
Yeah.
pier, no
Yeah.
sign of development.
Yeah.
It is worth investigating, I think, though.
We want to, stealthily try to sneak up and have a look.
I can give one of you guys the ability to see at night.
I can turn one person invisible.
What is the weather?
What is the weather? Excellent question.
And what is the moon phase?
Oh, there's a drizzle there's a light mist falling on you on this beach. There's a light breeze, 5 to 10 miles. Winds died down a little bit, and winds are out of the west. Yeah, so that would make sense as they come into the bay.
So it's overcast.
And
Yeah.
yes,
So we wouldn't be getting moonlight anyways.
no moonlight. It's dark out.
That's good. So, invisible sounded good.
With moonlight, we could see because it would be dim light.
Yeah, and
But
as you're scanning this and it's getting dark, is it dark? Do we agree it's dark?
I think so.
Yes.
We probably timed it.
Yeah. As you scan, you could see there's a pair of torches, like tiki torches on poles at the edge of the forest, edge of the palm trees.
A path.
Could be.
Or a trap.
Do we just? So we can either be sneaky.
Yep.
Do we decide Belinda is the sneakiest out of us?
Got +4 on my stealth. If you made me invisible, give me dark vision, that'd be like.
It's not like he's wearing armor that would cause you
Super duper.
disadvantage.
Yeah.
So if you, are we talking like I could be there and back in?
You could be as close or as far as you want to be. The beach isn't that deep, right?
Okay.
The beach is your typical beach. I don't know, 100 yards. That would be a deep beach, right?
Okay. So I'll go check it out if you guys want to do that.
All right. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it's playing.
I think that makes sense.
You could try to stealth your way up there, but again, you're in a beach. There's no hiding. There's no sneaking from rock to rock. this is a sandy beach.
No, but if he makes me
Well,
invisible,
There's that.
Hold on.
If you're invisible, then you.
I could cast darkness on us, and then we just all hold hands, and I lead us through.
So you can see through magic darkness.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be like a big black hole walking through the
But it's
forest?
dark
Well,
out.
but it overcasts with no moon.
but that doesn't do anything about
There's no
sound,
light.
right?
Correct. It's not silence.
But the minute you start getting towards something with light, even dim light, it's going to kind of start sticking out.
Well, yeah.
Oh. I like the invisibility and me giving you dark vision.
Okay.
I vote for splitting the party and sending Belinda. It sounds like
I
a
love
good
this play. Okay.
We do need maybe like a tropical bird sound so we know you're in danger.
Caw-caw, caw-caw.
No, it's got to be a little different.
That was so different.
Yeah, definitely tropical too. It's perfect.
It's more throaty.
Yeah.
And more invisible. Chicken. Alright, I'll do that.
All right. Let me know when you want to be invisible. And
Oh,
I'll turn you invisible.
one more detail. One more
300 feet of dark vision.
on the beach. There was a stack of stones. The bottom stone was probably 3 feet wide, 2 feet tall, like a snowman. All right, and then stacked up, and then there was like 2 smaller stones on top, and then on the headstone, if you want to call it that, they had these reddish eyes painted. Just another detail.
So, the dark vision and the invisibility, how long do those last?
1 hour for invisibility, but it ends if you make an attack roll, or deal damage, or cast a spell.
Okay.
1 hour.
They're both an hour. Okay.
I thought it was 8 hours. I'm glad.
Okay. So you
Head up the path.
go to the path, right? You get to the path. It's, I don't know, 10 feet wide, and maybe not even 8 feet wide.
And I think we would go to where the tiki torches are as well. Maybe like stay just outside of the light from the
Are these torches lit?
torches.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll also give you Vigilant Blessing. It allows you advantage on your next initiative roll. So in case you do get into trouble,
Okay.
So when you start a fight,
So you're ahead of them, though.
my understanding is Belinda's going. We're staying behind, right?
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. Roll me your stealth check.
15.
All right. As you approach
But
the
you're invisible. You have advantage.
19.
excellent. Now roll me a perception check.
Okay. 17.
Yeah. Yeah. You walk up. You see the post, and as you get to the in between those lit tiki torches, you look up 100 feet. You see another torch.
So, yeah, I will be careful looking at the path. Just
The path looks well worn.
Yeah. So okay, I'm just trying to be cautious in case they
Mm-hmm.
booby trap.
What is your passive perception?
9.
So as you crawl, the path continues to wind through the trees and kind of up a hill. I mean, you're getting a ways away from your partners. What's the plan? Are you going to go all the way up there?
Yeah, I want to get up to the camp where the
All right.
firelight is.
You spend 5 minutes going along this path, and you finally get there. You guys are waiting these 5 minutes, right? You're in the
hiding in what cover we can find.
there is no cover unless you go in the trees.
we would just say just like outside of the tiki light is.
Yeah, outside of Tiki Light is just the beach. So there's
There
literally
are trees, you said.
there are trees if you go into the trees. He just said he's standing outside of the trees.
Outside of the tiki light.
The Tiki Lights are at the edge of the trees.
I would like to be at the edge of into the trees.
All right, so
Like,
you
just
go
inside the
into the trees, right?
I want
You-
cover.
If there's
Into the
cover
tree
there,
sounds better.
if there's cover there, then yeah.
the cover would be inside the trees, right? Otherwise, if you're in the
Makes
beach,
sense.
you're wide open.
The idea is to be by the path when
comes out.
she comes back. Then we
Yeah. So as the three of you try to find some, and you're within visual distance to the tiki, you're right. You won't be able to see those lights, right? As you step into the woods, why don't you each give me a stealth check? You have disadvantage.
No, I have a chain shirt, so I have
Okay.
a disadvantage. 13 plus 2, 15.
8. Yeah. So and Ken, what'd you get?
14.
What?
14.
14.
14.
Yeah. As Tremor and Bay kind of settle in, there's a bush, there's a tree, they're feeling pretty, and he's, Jeff walks. How do you find a place like that? I couldn't find anywhere to hide. And then as you say that, and I'm just exaggerating, you hear commotion in the woods, not too far away. You can't see it; it's dark, right? But you hear commotion, and something just ran off.
I think there was an animal over there that just ran off.
We should relocate. We should relocate to the
All
other
right.
side of those posts.
Okay.
As you're going up
The
your
tiki posts.
path, you hear footfalls behind you.
Don't go off to one side of the path.
Yeah, as you see this indigenous person run past you.
Okay.
Follow.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna run. I'm gonna just keep.
Yeah, he's following the path.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you're following the path also. You guys decide, we're gonna go circle around the other side
Of the tiki posts.
of the tiki post, staying in the woods.
In the woods.
Staying in the woods, you cross the path. You go to the other side of the tiki woods. Give me perception checks.
Very stealthy.
With
Yeah,
stealth.
so very stealthy.
That's a 14.
I've
It's another 8.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys
Gone from bad to worse.
walk across and you could go to the other side of.
Where are we going? To the other side of the path. Shut up.
You go to the other side of the path and you settle in somewhere. You make your way up to the camp, and as you finally get, the guy double timed it, right? And you get up there, you see this indigenous guy, and he's pointing back at the pet, and out from one of the huts there. The huts, there are no huts. Out of the cave walks what looks to be someone in more formal attire. And, right, they're all talking in their whatever indigenous language, and motioning, and you see one of them. He goes back in, and yes, he has his indigenous attire that you would expect, but then he has a 3-pointed hat he puts on, and on the side of his hip he has a nice scimitar.
So they've at least had some
And then
encounters of.
you say, and two warriors, perhaps fit-looking indigenous dudes, step up, each with a torch, each with another nice-looking scimitar on their hip. All right, and they start coming toward the path.
Okay. I guess I would still, if I feel like I can do it, still like to get maybe a peek inside a cave.
Okay, you try to sneak your way up. With disadvantage, I rolled a 19 and 2 with disadvantage. They get a 2 because they have disadvantage when you're invisible. You sneak up to the edge of the cave, and it's not 10 feet before you see the cave. There's some huge hide wall, a curtain made of animal hides.
Should look for the giant pile
What's behind the curtain?
But if we take the gold, then we're cursed to be zombie people. Yeah.
You don't have to take the gold, but if they have gold, then they're pirates, right?
Or are they just natives that got some stuff from pirates?
You know, tomato, tomato.
Or they killed the pirates.
But really, what did they need gold for?
Perception check.
8.
8. Yeah. Hide walls. Yeah. What is obvious is that everyone's moving into the caves, right? So as you peeking in, there's people are moving into the caves for safety, maybe. You
Do I see through the curtain? as they're going
or
in?
you just see people. You see these indigenous moving in there. You don't really see you don't see much. You don't see much, right? And maybe you could see. You feel like with the number of people moving, the cave is certainly deeper than you can see, right?
Mhm.
One thing I'm going to say is in front of the cave is like a common area, and there's makeshift tables, and there's a huge fire with a huge pot that's kind of simmering. Now, the pot is an iron pot. A huge 5-foot cauldron, if you would.
Okay. So they've certainly had exposure to and dealings with more First World people. Is there still people heading in?
Yeah, there seems to be some urgency for them to rush in.
So I will try to find a larger person with a good space behind them, and I'm going to try to
Oh,
duck in.
okay.
I want to get to the other side of the curtain.
Yeah. So, I'm just gonna let it happen. You kind of stay against the wall, and you kind of itch your way, and you get past one curtain, and it's not another 20 feet before there's another curtain.
Yeah, I want to see.
Yeah, you go past that, and there's a third curtain. By the time you get past that third curtain is when it finally opens up, and you can see a network of caves leading back further into the mountainside.
Okay.
What are you looking for?
This is their home.
Yeah,
Their
absolutely is,
so,
right? Those curtains are for protection, warmth,
Yeah.
weather.
I guess I'm really just saying, is there tons of First World stuff, or
No, there is not tons of. You rolled an 8 for a perception check. There's not a ton of.
it's not the Radisson Hotel? It's
No.
cave dweller.
I'll give you. Occasionally, you see a scarf around a female that seems out of place.
Okay. Okay. So I think that's good enough, and I will look for an opportunity to stealth back
Yeah,
out.
give me another stealth check with your advantage.
What is it, 16.
Yeah.
You have advantage.
Yeah, he rolled his 12 and a 4, so
Yeah,
yeah, you sneak out. Yeah.
And then I guess I'll start heading back down the path because I'm concerned about.
Well, and they've got a lead on you.
Yeah,
Why would you be concerned for us?
because they just said.
Because
and Larry
two of our companions decided not to make the trip today.
3. Oh, these two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about us going with him.
No, yeah. So
But you cleverly hit on the other side of the path.
Exactly. I moved 30 feet. 60 feet.
we said it's a 5-minute walk. Do you hurry? Give up your advantage on yourself, or do you try to stay stealthy on the path? You could see as you leave, you could see that the males are in that first section of the cave system, right? Those first, they are there. They're setting up a protective front.
Okay. The two guys that went down the path.
3, right?
3. Okay, did they take torches?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so can I see?
Oh yeah.
I can see where
Sure.
they are. Okay.
I mean, eventually, if you go down the path and you hurry a little bit, you'll catch up to them.
So hurry a little bit. Not.
You
I
hurry
don't
until
wanna-
you see their torches ahead of you. Then you stay, say, 60 feet back, perhaps, as you follow them down. And as these three follow down, the two with the scimitars out and a torch in the other hand, they start to near the bottom of this hill where the path is, and they say, and another one steps out from his hiding spot, and he points right at you guys.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Do we see this?
Do I see this?
I think. I mean, you guys. Oh yeah, you. See, they were holding torches.
Like, how far away are they?
Well, you said within 30 feet of the path entrance, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you see that. I mean, I don't picture this as dense forest necessarily. These are palm trees, right? So there's some cover there. But they look around, and this guy, who expert in hiding amongst the palm trees, he points over to you guys, and you hear.
Do you think they know we're here?
I think this one's on you.
The chief wears a patch fur cloak, a weathered tricorn hat, clearly stolen or traded from foreign hands. A scimitar hangs at his side, and mirrored by blades of his warriors.
What do you propose?
Tomorrow. That's a word I came up with. Took Mara.
How about a sketchy blue potion of healing?
I'm leaning on you for the leadership here.
What do we?
All right,
to
I will. I'll give the sketchy blue potion of healing to Jeff here, so he can take the lead.
I have an indigo silk scarf.
Ooh, that sounds better.
Do you step out?
Ooh.
Yeah, they don't have bows. They just have the swords, right?
They just have the swords.
Ooh.
What do you?
I'll put my plague doctor outfit there.
Like, are you putting it on or are you offering it?
Offering
Okay.
to trade.
Well, first of all, I haven't heard you say, we step out and address these guys.
I don't want to step out. I think only one of us should.
Sure, Jeff will step out.
And Jeff steps out with his indigo scarf,
Yes. Silk scarf.
silk scarf.
Hello, boys.
just occurred and I was like,
and he you see them kind of looking over your shoulder.
Yeah. Just me.
And he points over your shoulder. And you see the one that was hiding said,
I think
I don't think we should give up our position just because of that. Like, you can still negotiate. I don't know. What do you want to do, Bay?
I'll go back him up.
This is your.
If they
This is
say
your
it
Bay.
again, maybe one of us can stay hidden.
I mean, these are Bayans. I mean, this is the Bay of Bays, so you got to call them Bayans.
Congratulations, we have discovered you. And I named you.
We will name you Bayans. All right. I mean, you get step out. I'll step out. Again,
All right,
no weapons in
We
hand.
step out.
yeah, weapons are down. You know.
They're holding these caution. It's not like they're getting ready to hit you.
Right.
The-
But even so, like, we're not. You know, yeah.
And he looks at you're offering the scarf. He looks to and he takes off his neck he takes off this necklace of shells and shiny stones and feathers, and he offers it to you.
And I would offer him the silk scarf. And I would basically be doing the same thing. This would go really well with my fishnet.
Yeah.
And he looks at you. He looks at you, and he said, and he starts to walk away and looks back at you as if
Seems to be inviting us, so we would.
Alright.
Yeah.
And I, meanwhile,
Okay.
will make some good berries.
you make some good behaviors as you walk.
Yeah, I'll
Really
just
casting.
cast some.
Okay. So the guards wait behind, and they're going to follow behind you, right? And the chieftain leads you up. The guards are in the back. The three of you are in between. You're still invisible.
Yeah. So
They didn't notice you. I mean,
yeah,
they
I
had-
know. I'm just debating. Do I just sort of fall in like I was there the whole time, or do I stay invisible and?
I would say invisible. You might need someone to rescue us. We don't know how this is gonna go.
We've been invited to dinner.
Yeah. we may be dinner.
So I'll stay. I'm still gonna be invisible and I'll go down and walk past and then follow at a distance.
Yeah, so they come back up to their camp, if you would, and the chieftain said, and the men start to come out and they look at you curiously and cautiously, right? They have their weapons not drawn but at the ready, and he walks up to he walks around that cauldron that's bubbling and. And you feel like he dresses, and out walks this attractive female up to him and gives a bow to him, and he wraps this scarf around her. And other women go up by her, and they're all admiring her.
Betrothed to her. No, sorry.
Now you're right.
You're led to the base of a cliff where the high draped caves overlook a shaded common area. Several women stir. They come out. They rush up the cauldron. They start stirring that cauldron again. The air smells of this herbs and salt and crab meat.
It must be the claws we saw.
Hey, yeah.
Jumbo crab.
And so
Maybe we could ask them or try.
he goes over to someone that has half a coconut, right, bowl, and he takes it from them, and he dumps it out, and he goes to the cauldron and he goes over to you.
Would thank
Yeah,
him,
well,
and then would
you partake.
yeah.
Right.
And then
Jeff's not.
pantomime, like
Yeah.
very tasty. Yeah.
And you say, and they go, and the girls are, and you know, a couple of them, they walk up to you and they kind of poke at you a little bit.
He flexes his pecs.
Pull- I think it-
They back off.
See, maybe we could ask them if they've seen a boat at sea recently. Which direction may have gone.
Ask him about his hat.
How would you pantomime that?
That's a great question for our
Just playing
fearless leader.
charades.
You might just draw it on the sand or whatever. So I was thinking,
How bad do you think it would be doing magic?
I could message him, but
If it's like thaumaturgy,
I was thinking like minor illusion. Just make a ship at sea.
minor illusion, you might. Yeah, I don't think that would go too poorly.
All right,
Hopefully.
you'll describe, and I will kind of make a little
We're missing our
ish thing.
bard.
Yeah. So,
So,
the question is
Try to make an image. You know, sandy beach, ship at sea,
ship at sea,
skull and crossbones on it.
the skull and crossbones, pirates, cannons maybe. maybe this pirate ship chasing another boat.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
Good idea.
Minor illusioning this for the chieftain.
Yeah. So you're creating these images, and you hear and you hear someone, a female, start crying.
This is why I asked if we thought it would be a bad idea.
And then he motions to his warriors, and they walk off, and they grab a teenage girl, and they bring her to you, and they say, and they point at your weapons, and they shove the girl toward you.
I would look at you just like this, like we are now.
What?
What?
And he points right at your primary weapon.
The whip. The spear.
Your primary weapon.
I don't know what my primary weapon is anymore. We haven't had like a real like.
We haven't had a good battle in a while.
We've had weird
And he
battles.
looks at you and he points at your primary weapon.
So he just had the soldiers grab this woman
And they're
girl
pushing her towards you guys.
and points at our weapon.
Mhm. When you talked about the ship, this is what they did. This is.
They came and took her.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm
oh.
going to completely misinterpret what he's saying. Is the girl like bound,
No.
or she's just?
Openly weeping and
Okay, I'm gonna hand her one of my daggers, like hilt first.
you hand it to her, and she looks at it. She hands it back to the chief, and he says, but he sternly looks at you. This dagger is not enough for one. And he pulls her back, and
Does he think
Oh.
we want her?
Insight
yes,
check.
I think that's what he thinks.
Okay, just for clarification. How did that whole interaction start? Did he just initiate that?
You initiated with the picture of the pirates, the ship.
13.
This is how they reacted to seeing that.
Okay, so we did show them something.
It showed boat, and they reacted by
Oh, you're here to trade.
to trade you a person.
So the pirates are slavers.
It's reasonable to assume.
We don't. No,
Yeah.
we don't. We don't want her. Like, how do you say that without making it seem like, oh no, she's not good enough? We want like
Did you roll your insight?
13.
13. That's enough to know.
Yeah.
I think they're making it
Yeah.
pretty obvious. They want your.
Yeah.
If they are willing to give you this girl
Yeah,
in exchange for your weapons.
which we're not interested in.
So how do you react?
How do we trade for information?
You already insulted them by giving them a mere dagger, thinking that'd be enough.
I was giving her the dagger. Also, it's my primary weapon.
And now
From
they're
the distance.
they're like "Ugh."
Yeah.
And-
Okay, let's
Send
shake
the 3 men in.
shake our heads no. You know, obvious misunderstanding.
So in the karma, when you're gaining graces with somebody, old D&D had this effect where you gain points.
Influence?
It was influence. I don't know if that's the right word. So where there's a balance here of good vibes and negative vibes, right?
Mhm.
And you were pretty even, maybe even a little good, and then just you're starting to tilt the other way.
So how do we tell them that we want to fight the pirates?
Ooh,
Are
okay.
you sure you
I will try this
want
again.
to tell
I
them?
do want to tell them that though. If they trade with pirates, then they may not want that.
Or we
Yeah.
just go for it and
Or
hope that they don't like trading with pirates.
we divert, and we're still traders. We still want to trade with them, but we don't want people.
Trade. Maybe that's a good symbol for trade.
But we don't want young women.
Right.
We
Not
just
women.
want.
Trade.
So here's
Information.
what
What about
Jeff
their
will
hat?
do.
We want their hat.
Well, Jeff will gesture to his necklace, like more of these. So not women, but like more.
Not good enough for the woman.
No, we I keep. I want more.
Maybe you want to offer him something else.
And that's fine, but we don't want the woman.
But we don't. want the woman. That's
So
the-
you
the
offer
key
him
point.
back the dagger, maybe, and say no to the woman. You just
No,
offer,
man.
just
But-
give him the dagger,
Give him the dagger.
and just say don't want the
woman, but more. And I would gesture to the beads.
And
Why the beads?
It's gonna be easier to convince them that we want to trade, but not for people, than it is to convince them that we're here for nothing or for information.
Information is hard. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
All right.
because we're trying to
I'll follow your
to-
stream here of thought.
trying to win back and not make ourselves.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
All right.
so let's see here. As this conversation is going on, as you're offering back and forth, out steps another indigenous that seems to have hunched over, has a staff with some beads hanging off it, like a crow's head on the top, right? And he walks up to the fire and he throws some powder on it, and the sparkles come off, shimmering down, and you see the image of these of sailors walking up as the shimmer falls down, and you see as he continues, it's almost doing a chant as he's doing this. He tells the story of these people from the sea come and they offer them weapons and clothing, scarves, and the pot and some spices, and in exchange they received how many of their young did they get? 9 of their young. 9 of their, not aging in ages from 10 to 16, right? And you saw the parents weep, but then as it says, they show this picture of dead indigenous to a giant crab, right, laying, and then the next scene is they flipped over the crab and with the sword killed it. So these weapons have been a significant change in their life. So there's an understanding here. So they've told you this story, and they say, and the guy with the he takes a pouch, a small pouch of this powder, and he offers it to you.
I will take the pouch and I will hand him 3 good berries. You know.
He swallows it.
And he should feel better, right? He should immediately feel better.
Yeah,
Just with 1 hit point.
he feels full and he gets a hit point of health. Yeah. He
And he wants me to do it,
no, he said,
and I'll throw it onto the fire.
and the sprinkles go down. And what are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about the pirates and how we can get say what we want, the information we want. I
Yeah.
want to know where.
So
the
what
pirates
images would come?
Are. Pirate ship, and where it went. These would be things I'd be think images I would present, I guess.
And he's no. He said, "Rah!" and then he starts another one. He goes around to as he coaxes on the crowd to start making this tribal chant, and then he starts to do these wild arm and. I thought I wrote this out. All right, you see a picture of the caves and their village, and the next scene, and he points off in the distance, and then you see these humanoid people flying in their camp, and next scene, as people are running for their lives, scattering toward, and these winged humanoids come in and they grab some of their people and fly off. And the next scene is they're all crying about the loss, but the next scene is pointing to the cliffs on the other side of the bay, right? And next scene is they come again, but this time they have weapons, and they're able to fend them off.
What are weapons?
No.
They keep saying.
Insight check.
16 plus 2.
Yeah. So what you're piecing together here is they're telling you stories.
Of how important the weapons are.
Yes, but they're encouraging you by giving you the pouch, encouraging you to tell a story.
All right, so I'll tell the story of we're looking for these pirates.
Now, I just told you a story.
And the imagery, I guess, would be we fought a serpent and on this boat to try to looking for them, and we're trying to. Justice is a hard one to bring your imagery to. I will think of pirates hurting people and killing people and robbing people and taking their things.
Maybe that sunken ship.
The sunken ship, and the cairns that were stacked there.
Yeah. Why don't you give me a performance check?
Uh-oh. That's a 12.
A 12. So, as you go through your performance of this, and how about their insight? Not so good. What they do, the ship that came went off to the west.
Off to the west.
That's all, and that's all they're gonna know.
Okay. Let me see what I have in my inventory here. I don't have much for weapons. Wasn't great information, so I guess I'll give them. I'll give them my tinderbox.
Okay.
I mean, they can start a fire anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Give him your tinderbox. It's like
Show him how it works, maybe.
Yeah.
yeah. And he hands it to someone off and he says, and he hands.
I'll hand it back to him.
Well, he hands you a pouch of this powder.
Oh. Okay. Nice. Sorry, it's power. Nice.
Explosive powder, right? Cast, create bonfire, but you can't move. It is basically little fire.
Yeah. Just prestidigitation kind of stuff.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Real fire.
Right, but just like little
Prestidigitation, you can create a real fire. You can light. You can. It's just a small
Okay.
light. I think that's true. You can look that up later, whatever.
Well, yeah, I think it's a good point. Setting the light.
You can light a candle or light a torch with it. Yeah. Yeah. And then they say, and they start, woo, woo. They start like some religious gesture, woo.
Us or two?
No, not to you, but more in a chant to this next story. All right, and that's right. This was it. And so he starts telling, and he has an idol, a stone carving of what looks to be a little demon, right? And it's holding a pot in its hands, and it's got little ears. It's just and it has these ruby eyes, and ooh, they're all kind of praying to it. And then the next scene is those same terrafolk had come, and it is before no weapons, and took their idol from them. And then the next scene is pointing to the north. A volcano erupting, big clouds pointing to the north. Ooh. And the demon god got mad, and they believe that because they no longer have this idol for them to worship, that the mountain exploded, and you get the sense they would really like to have this idol back.
Did you see volcano where we were up on the mountain? Yesterday?
Where the dragon was.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't look there yesterday because you saw it yourself the day before.
Oh, and it was on a
We
different
saw,
island,
we
right?
saw those
Yeah. Oh,
demons
yeah.
just
Not on this one. Okay.
before the serpent. Wasn't it?
So
Yeah, you saw something that sounds a lot like that.
okay, but these were different. These were not the people they traded with. These were different.
I don't mind look something like this, except for it would have had ruby eyes, right?
Some invaders.
So if we happen to find it, and bring it back. What would they be? Yeah.
Maybe on a much smaller scale.
Just
When you go there, that's the one you get in the gift shop.
right. So they're worshippers of Moloch, right?
Seemingly, it doesn't take a very big insight check to piece that together.
Do we tell them that we're here to pluck
No.
the eyes out?
No.
No, I don't think so.
To the flying people.
And then they offer you the child and
We bring
The
back
girl.
the idol, we get the teenager.
Yeah. Yeah, and that should impress upon you how much they value this.
The flying people took this
That was what they were trying to convey through the story.
from over the cliff.
The flying people took it.
The cliffs that they point to the cliffs on this side.
Okay.
The flying people come from there, and they took the idol.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if we go find the flying monkeys and the wicked witch, and
captured or trafficked underage women, but
We could replace
We don't have to accept
the
the
ranks
gift.
of the boat by trading for a couple guys.
Say that again.
We could trade for a couple of the men to go be on the ship.
Do you-
Oh,
do you want to tell them that you're into men and not
Yeah.
women?
So
yeah,
what was the,
not the attractive teen girl.
Yeah.
We want the big beefy guy.
Right.
did they? Did he? Did the imagery give a direction for their idol? Where to find their idol?
Is it
The cliffs.
the flying people took it, and also west.
Oh, the flying people took the.
Yeah.
idol?
Wasn't the pirates. They would never have given this idol up in a trade.
Do we want to save the idol?
If we happen to find it, we know
I
where to
thought it was
bring
kind of cool that there was some flying humanoids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had in the imagery they would have had long beak and head.
Birds.
Yeah, bird pterodon, terrafolk perhaps.
That'd be cool. What do you want to do?
So both the winged people and they also said the pirates went west.
Yeah.
We got that.
West, but that would have been over the cape or whatever.
Yeah.
They didn't go into the cliffs.
But they think the winged people are actually on this same island.
Oh, they know the winged people live in those cliffs.
Okay.
This is an obvious enemy of theirs, which they seem to have some balance with now that they have the weapons.
Detente.
So yeah, just my 2 cents would be if
You guys figure out.
if we happen to stumble upon, but I mean, even if we did bring it back, do they have anything we'd really want to trade for?
Weapons. Well, they would want to give us
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know,
people.
if
yeah.
we're not going to take their teenage daughters, then
Right.
I guess as a cleric, I'd have to say it's not about what they can give us; it's what we can give them.
Well,
It could be our good deed.
right. The fact is, we're looking for the eyes from this same statue. This is the statue.
A
that
smaller
we're
version of
looking
it.
for.
this is the gift shop version of that statue.
Well, it's a good point. Yeah, because that's a good point. Because we're on the mission to get to the place where there's the big statue that we want the eye from, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that we go out of our way
Right. I
to bring this back to them.
I'm on the fence about it.
If we happen to stumble upon it, have an easy way to get it.
We're nice folk. We can do a good deed.
If it's convenient and we're not risking our lives to do it.
Right. First challenge, it's not a cliff. I have a potion of climbing.
You know, and we don't know, just because they're the first ones to tell us about it. For all we know, they stole it from the bird people a generation before, you know.
Yeah.
What did the bird people want with it, anyways?
They want to worship it too, or they just like red shiny things.
All right, what are you guys doing?
We're taking all the young women.
Good.
No.
Okay.
Um,
And you're staying behind.
Yeah. I'm your new king.
what size is it? I guess maybe when they talk about this idol, can I gesture to them to, well, I'll use the powder and create this image of us searching for this huge version of the idol
Yeah.
and asking them,
Mhm.
do they know where that is?
Well, when you show this huge version, they all get very very. They don't get a sense that they worship this
Right.
in fear, right? It's not like it's a good god. It's it is some entity that they fear and worship out of fear, but they don't convey any sense of knowing a bigger
Okay.
deity or bigger idol.
I was just wondering if it could possibly lead us. Like, they knew something about where the big one was.
Well,
Would make sense.
We need to find that too. So
Yeah, and ultimately,
You don't get the sense that they probably travel much beyond this. Well, the cliffs to the shore. That's kind of their
safe zone.
they're
Right.
doing- Yeah.
with the enemy of the Terra folk, the bird people.
What do you want to do?
is there anything else we think we can learn from them?
I don't think so. Bay?
Feels like we've exhausted our abilities to communicate.
How was
So
it?
we're gonna have a random person just turn it visible relatively soon.
Yeah, how long has it been?
Yeah, it's probably
How long has it been?
for my hour of invisibility.
Oh yeah, at some point that came. You know,
I feel like you're just sitting there and then like poof.
I was watching. Well, I figured I was watching from the.
maybe
the
it was
friends.
part of a story, and Bay was, and then powder, and out of the powder steps Belinda. Ooh, ah. And one of the warriors come up and he says, and off is the girl for you.
The guy won't take her. Maybe he'll take her.
A sturdy woman.
And I would like smack his hand, and be like, and
And a little pinch and you're only encouraging him.
If you want more
And-
warriors for our ship, maybe
Yeah.
Belinda will have some
and maybe she would
Leverage.
have like
admirers.
a bracelet or something that she could give to the teenage girl, and
Okay.
just as a
And
poor,
she,
poor dear.
yeah, and she takes it and she takes a little flower bracelet and gives it to you. Okay, that's kind of the encounter, guys. So
Make our way back.
I'm taking the soup to go. I want
you
to try
take the soup to go.
Coconut to go.
Yep.
All right.
So, okay. So we gotta row back to the ship. And
Yeah.
head around tomorrow.
Yeah, you get back in your boat, you get on the ship, and you report to the captain, right? And what happened, and so, okay, well, we are headed that way. That's we're headed toward. Hopefully, not long before we can start heading south here. There can't be much more west. We'll have to see what we see when we get around this cape. All right, so we start with the morning of day 15.
I think it's my turn to
Okay.
encounter.
Well, so up here, I mean, if you all agree, we can go. Well, what'd you roll? You rolled 15. So which way you going? You following the coast up?
Yep.
If the imagery that they provided gives us any idea of where this,
You know they're in those cliffs somewhere.
yeah, they're
Yeah, the
somewhere.
bird people are in the cliffs, and that's all. The pirates generally went that direction.
Right.
Are you looking for a place to land?
Yeah. Sure.
Roll.
17.
Nope. All right, Ken, you want to roll? Well, first of all, do you want to head northwest? I assume.
Yes.
So we are afternoon, day 15.
8.
8 and land. Roll another d20.
20.
Yeah. All right. All right. Now we're
Instead of natural 20.
evening, day 15. We're back to Knoll. Which way do you want to go?
West. I want to stay along the coast.
You want to stay close west?
Is that northwest or west?
So you could be here. This is really, yeah, probably northwest. There's really not a spot there.
Yeah.
So for a random encounter,
2.
yeah, and you have this is evening, right? So the sun is setting, and you don't see anything. Well, roll for land, I guess.
8.
All right. The encounter here isn't really in the water. It's on the boat. As the Bosun, the captain, Bosun has talked to the captain, and the captain comes to you, says, "We're on day 15 of our journey, and our stores are meant to last for 30 days. Now, I know we've been investigating going slowly, but we might want to return to Anchoril to restock. We have not seen any sign of civilized life for us to replenish our food and more importantly, our fresh water. So we can press on, but if we get to day 30, we are without replenishing. We're going to be in rationing, and my experience is the crew gets grumpy when we ration. So I leave it to you.
We've been meandering. If we go back quickly, how long will it take us?
Yeah, so we can cover, with a dedicated and no real encounters. If we zoom out, I don't know, can I zoom out?
We'll restock when we reach the pirates. Take their food.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can be back in Anchoril in 9 days from here, but we're going the wrong way.
Right. So we're on day 15.
We're on day 15.
Maybe get to day 18 and then turn around and make a somewhat straight path there and
Unless we can find
hit a
water
few
and-
spots we missed, or do we turn around now and hit the spots we missed on the way back?
Well, or hope we find water and food.
Wasn't there fresh
On the
water
island.
at 2?
Was there?
We saw waterfall somewhere, didn't we?
The waterfall's where the giant chicken was.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
probably
two
fresh water.
Yeah.
Or are there streams at
Hey.
2?
I mean,
So
someone
water,
did point out that a giant chicken would be a lot of food.
or a giant omelet.
Yeah? Make someone invisible, sneak in, steal an egg. The risk is the egg hatching. And you have a giant chicken that imprints on you, and then
So we've got at least another few days before we'd have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's fine. We could do that. The less wiggle room we have, the more risk. Your plan's sound. I'm willing to do it, and I'm even willing to push it further. But then we do risk the crew getting grumpy on us. Right now, things are comfortable. So that was your encounter for evening day 15. Morning day 16. And we are to Knoll.
Already? I just did mine.
Didn't know. I thought who did?
Yeah,
you,
maybe.
oh, you did. No, it is west.
I just went.
Yeah. No, Noel, you did. You said you could try straight west, but we couldn't. We had to go. So straight north is the obvious choice.
Yep.
Don't hit the serpent.
Yeah, you keep your distance from the serpent. I'll give you this square, this hex, and this hex.
17.
17 for random, and land if you want it.
16.
Okay. You can see the waters in this middle of this bay are unsettled off to the east where you know the serpent's lair is. The waves don't wave as much. It's very still there, and it's a little bit more murky. It is your turn to roll, or first direct me which way you're going. I guess
Generally follow the coast.
well, you pretty much have to go straight north, I think.
So, 10 on the random encounter.
Yeah.
And 18 on the beach.
All right. So that was day 16. Now we're on day 17. That was evening. That was evening day 17. So I think we're in the morning of day 16, and we're back to Ken.
Let's go northwest.
You haven't been checking the weather. It's only do that for fun anyway, right? You can't really go west, right? Because that puts you in the
Northwest.
Northwest. Excellent.
If there's another serpent,
Uh-oh. More land to the north.
that's like,
Land to the north, Captain. All right, random and land, if you haven't already.
oh, right. Nope. Forgot about my job. All right, we got a 17 for random and a 16 for land.
All right. Nothing there. Well, first of all, which direction I assume you want to go. This is really the direction you want to go, right?
Northwest. Taking you know.
Yeah, that's the direction I wanted.
You follow the strait between the two land masses.
I rolled a 2.
You roll a 2 for random? Okay. Okay, as the let's qualify, and we'll go ahead and roll for land.
3.
Okay. All right. Maybe I didn't move it over.
Since we've lost 4 crew members at this point,
Yeah.
we have an extra few days worth of food.
Like you said, the food's really not the issue. We could always fish and try to get food that way. It's really the fresh water. But yeah, you're right. Our stores should go a little longer. All right.
We'll push it, but that'll be good if something bad happens.
What was the weather?
Cloudy.
Partly cloudy, gentle seas, moderate breeze, 10 to 15 miles. It's a nice day on the sea. We're kind of in the middle of the channel. The depth gauge is putting you. It keeps bouncing off 100, right at 100 feet. So waters are pretty deep. However, despite that, you do see off to the side. You see maybe you're in a channel, because right off to the side you see just some rocks jutting out of the water, just a small here and there, and then amongst those rocks is this ginormous 50-foot long fish kind of flopping around on these rocks, and it's covered in a net, and the crew is all pointing, oh, look at there, oh, a giant fish. Feed us, Captain. That would feed us for an additional. I bet that fish for a week. And then the chef comes up. The cookie comes up. "Oh yeah, chef, we could. That looks like a tasty fish." But then Grix, the fish-looking dude says, "Oh, that is a coelacanth. That is a coelacanth. They are super rare. I've only heard stories of them. It is many cultures would even revere that fish." And so now you have a little bit of a quandary. A good portion of the sailors want to go get this fish, and some of them are hesitant. So the captain looks at you. You've commissioned this ship. What is your advice?
I realize we commissioned it. Okay.
Yes, they wouldn't be on this trip if it weren't for you guys.
I thought we had to be on this trip.
You had to be on this trip but they wouldn't have gone on this trip without you.
Okay.
They wouldn't have gone pirate hunting without your adventurers.
But we didn't want a pirate hunt. They wanted to pirate hunt.
They wanted
They wanted us to
That was
They
the
wanted
exchange,
us to
right?
pirate.
Okay.
Yeah.
they would go. They took you to Isle of Dread on the condition that you would pirate hunt. Without the pirate hunt, there was no expedition to the Isle of Dread.
So do we want to go get this fish for food, or do we think it's sacred and we shouldn't?
Or should we rescue it from the net?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's really so rare, probably should just rescue it. We have enough food.
God bless you.
Okay, so we're gonna go try to.
How big did you say it was?
50 feet,
50 feet.
That's pretty big.
a
That's-
big ass
that's a
fish.
Small whale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd first say, let's look at the logistics. It's a 50-foot fish. How do we harvest a 50-foot fish at sea in rocky conditions?
Yeah.
All right.
You're talking really to the chef, and he goes, and he looks over to our butcher.
Just out of instinct, you
And I would say, okay, now you've got all this fish blood and guts in the water. Now how do you deal with the sharks?
And he points to you.
I'm not going in there. I say we let it go. Some things should not be violated unless absolutely necessary.
And the Grix says, "Well spoken, friend. We should let free that fish. Save it." Oh, no. Oh, no.
So you're more familiar with the sea, speaking of Greg's and nets. How might we free this fish from this net?
And he puts his dagger in his mouth and he says, "Well, I would just dive in and start cutting it free. If you're with me, I will go with you." He put.
I was afraid you'd say that.
I got my own fish net.
All right.
Hey, changing your wardrobe.
Yeah, I would say just harvest the net, and we'll be in heaven.
Not the right kind.
Think of the changes of clothes you could have.
I mean, and as you investigate with your telescope, you would see that it's not really a net. It's just like ropes, maybe from a part of a sail, ropes from it. It's tied up in this stuff. To call it a net would be an
Fishing
exaggeration.
line caught in seaweed.
And some six-pack rings.
What do you do?
Well,
I say what I do.
I guess we probably need the rowboat.
Yeah, you jump in the
I'm just gonna
rowboat.
swim over to it.
Well, let's use the rowboat to get closer.
Yeah. You row up to the rocks. So the fish is kind of flopping around. A beached whale, perhaps, right? For visualization type of thing.
Is it like big enough area that like we can climb on the rocks?
Yeah. You throw a rope around one of the rocks so the boat doesn't, because there's waves here, right? And you crawl amongst the rocks, and so I think this, you're each getting out and you're each working on the ropes. Why don't you each tell me what you do to free this fish? You have small amount of wood. You have some amount of cloth. You have some amount of ropes. Who would like to start? Ken, you want to start? How would you help free
Sure.
this fish?
Okay, so it's ropes going up and over it, right?
Some, yes.
And I'm assuming these are wooden ropes. Not wooden, sorry.
Normal
Ropey
rope.
ropes, not like normal ropes.
They're normal ropes.
Cut with a knife.
They're probably thick. They're probably an inch thick.
Okay, I want to get to the end of one, and if it looks like the knot is easy enough to untie, I'll try to untie it. But otherwise, I'll take my dagger and just start cutting it.
You just all right. Very good. Now that's good. I'm no checks here because it's not a matter of how you do it, and it's how long it takes. Really. How about Tremor? How does he handle this?
I'll try to secure one of the ropes so that we can try to like pull it off of the rocks and into the water.
Okay.
Maybe use another rope to attach to that rope and then pull. Use it as a pulley around a set of rocks that may not be jagged, more smooth, and try to use a pulley kind of approach. I don't know, moving a 50-foot fish is not going to be easy.
How about Jeff?
I'd be going for the.
You just pick it up.
just pick up the whole fish. Top no. I would go after the sailcloth.
Yeah.
That's wrapped around
Yeah.
it and start
Tearing it, ripping it apart, and
yeah, start with carefully with the dagger.
Yeah.
And then tearing it apart and trying to.
this fish is exhausted. Right? It's been here every once in a while. It flops.
I'll give it a good berry. Give it 3.
Okay. Nice.
Do those work on fish?
Hmm?
Do those work on fish?
Why wouldn't it?
We've been calling it a beach, but its mouth is more like a carp, right? It's not a whale fish. All right, so you're working on the sails, and Belinda.
So yeah, but I've got my butcher's knives and I've even got a scalpel, so I'd be cutting ropes.
All right, so the group of you work. Now Grix comes in and he's working on it too. He's going around trying to figure out strategic places to cut the rope. You guys work on this for better of an hour.
Can Grix talk to the thing?
He puts his hand on the side and he tries to commune with this. Great question.
Yeah.
and the waves, and he says, "It's not talking to me. I get the sense that it's thoroughly exhausted, right? It borders on those berries. It did seem to help, but I mean it's just minimal, right? Those are only like one hit point each, right? It would take many of those for it to make any difference, and so this is very noble of you to help me dislodge us." And so you work on this better part. And finally, it seems free, but it's just like
I'll cure wounds.
Yeah, second level cure wounds, nice.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
Yep.
And just to make sure I'm tracking spell slots correctly here, in case it becomes important, we've had a day, right?
Yes.
We've had a long rest.
Yes, you've had a long rest.
That's.
I like how it says roll damage for cure wounds. 27 healing for me.
27, nice.
I got 24.
All right. So with all that healing, the Chris, oh yes, this is working, and the fish starts to flop, and eventually
we do this after we have gotten the ropes.
Well,
and sails
do you have
and
to
stuff.
touch a creature for your cure wound?
do.
Yeah, so you have to touch it.
Well, no, this is
After we get it all.
after we've
Oh, yeah.
gotten
Oh,
free.
yeah, the
Yeah,
ropes
yeah.
are.
You feel like it was loose, right?
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was just too exhausted,
Too
really,
exhausted,
to flop
Okay.
off. With the healing, it's no longer injured. Now, healing doesn't take care of exhaustion per se, right? There are other spells for that. So
We're only 3rd level.
yeah. So
At
Fair.
least I can get back
no,
to
you're
water.
4th level. Aren't you 4th level?
Yeah, we're 4th level.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 4th level.
Aren't you
Oh,
4th level?
okay. I still only have 2nd level spells.
Oh, okay, yeah. So eventually, as you, Grix would say, this is perhaps the tide will come in and lift it off these rocks, and it would be fine, right? As you go, we've done all we can do.
We can't.
It's 50 feet long. It's
Even with Jeff there.
you get your, so you try
The oars.
you take the oars, you try to roll it off. Sure, with all of you, but then you have the first problem of leverage. What are you standing on to do it?
Yeah.
Sure, eventually you roll the fish off into the seawater. It has some health, and it just kind of sinks under the water.
Turns on its side.
Yeah.
You
5 minutes later.
you see the underside of it
Yeah,
coming.
if it floats
No.
back up, then we are having it for dinner.
So that was the random encounter. You saved the fish.
How many ropes did we get out of that?
That's true, because we gave our ropes away for the anchor, didn't we?
Sheets.
Well,
I guess we would have gotten those back.
you would have got those back because.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many ropes? You pulled back the ropes and you get
How many pounds of rope, right?
That was
'Cause
a-
it's
yeah.
80 pounds of rope.
80.
And a lot of fish.
Sheets.
The
Well,
sheets are
it's-
torn and waterlogged. I don't think they're gonna be good.
Well, it is wet rope, so 80 pounds tracks.
Yeah, there you go. 80 pounds of wet rope.
And how much awesome karma do we get for being environmentally friendly?
Fish slimy.
Yeah.
Ropes.
You get some massive,
You get some
nice
luck.
You get some nice karma.
Which is called luck in this game.
Okay.
How much fresh water does that give us to continue our?
Yeah. So that was the morning of day 17. And I don't know who moved us there.
Jug that you can
Was that
pour
you, Ken?
Liquids out of.
Who moved?
No, it was not me. I don't think.
Someone got a low number for that encounter, right? Was it?
I rolled 2, so.
Oh yeah, it was you. All right. So Jeff, you want to go northwest or north? West or northwest?
Let's go west.
Let's go west. I'll give you this one too. Ooh. Have we reached the Cape? Is there much more to the south? Would you roll on your
7. And then a 9.
nothing there? And that was the afternoon of day 17.
Question: since we're nearing where we said we would turn around, I want to try something. With my brewer's supplies, can I take a bunch of salt water and basically
Do the salination
The
process?
brewer-
Desalinate?
Yeah. Can I invent that here?
Could you boil it and like, what is that called?
That's what I'm thinking. Brewer supplies would boil it, I would imagine,
I
and
remember
then
reading
it's
a-
designed to catch moisture after it's, evaporated. So I'm assuming the salt would just get stuck in the barrel.
I remember one book I read as a kid. I think it was a book. It was one of those like marooned on an island, and you build a tent and you boil the water inside of it, and then the steam condenses on the tent, and then it rolls down, and you catch it. And
You've got distilled water, basically,
Yeah.
right?
I'm going to give you a retroactive intelligence check for yesterday, and we're going to see how your intelligence, if you figure this out. Difficulty, you've never done this before, you have no experience at this, you just have it's water, you should be able to make this. We're going to set it at 18.
Well, that was not an 18.
All right, now that I told you the number, I don't
I haven't used my heroic inspiration.
All right, so that was yesterday. Now you can roll again for today, and I'll give you 1 check per day.
All right. Well, that's a 15. We're getting closer. All right, I'll use my heroic inspiration again. That's a 19.
A 19. Okay, now the next question is, how much water could you possibly make doing this?
5 ounces.
So if a barrel is a keg is what, 40 gallons? 20 gallon? What's a standard keg?
That's a good question. I don't know. I've only ever
I have
seen
no
like,
idea.
the mini keg.
Google to the rescue.
Well, I got
I would
ChatGPT.
I would think 40.
How much water is in a standard
15.5 gallons.
standard wine barrel?
You know that a keg is half a barrel? I didn't know that they were a difference.
Because the ship had barrels of wine, right? And 59 gallons. Let's call it 60. 60 gallons. All right. And if 60 gallons were desalinated, how much fresh water would be produced?
You would think it would be almost the same amount.
And
But it's
how
so
long would
Closest one
it
that wouldn't be.
take?
In a closed system, though.
And how could it be done on a sailing ship?
That's a lot of ends.
Yeah, well, yeah, they do pretty good.
Could we misty
So-
onto-
The 60 gallons would produce 50 to 55 gallons of fresh water. You lose 5 to 10% to steam loss, inefficiency, and salt waste. Time record with a simple fire-powered distillation setup, boiling salt water and condensing steam. One small still might produce 1 to 2 gallons per day. A large operation, multiple stills could produce 5 to 10 gallons per day with effort. But now we're talking about space on the ship as well.
And 1 to 2 gallons is enough for maybe 3 people.
I-
How do you boil a gallon of?
Honestly, they probably need a gallon of water a day per person.
Optimally.
Well,
That's right.
that'll help if we get down to rationing. So might as well start that process up. That'll get us an extra half day at the end of it.
So, they will put you.
How do you heat it?
On the stove.
What
A 40-gallon.
We don't have a stove that we're cooking food on.
you do
There's a
that you're
galley.
cooking food on?
Galley stove, yeah. there's
Well,
a
I've
good
got-
food on.
Brewer supplies. Would that include?
An infinite supply of burner fluid?
They set you up on the way back of the ship on top of the deck because the captain says, if this fire gets out of hand, we need to throw this overboard immediately. I don't want some live, extra hot process going on my ship. I understand.
Yeah.
It is a good idea. I appreciate it, Bay. And we will set it up, but we're going to take that precaution. We are not going to have this under deck.
Makes sense. And if it rains, even better.
Hand me those 2 barrels. Yeah, as we set up a desalination process here. Okay, the next day you spend devising this, and you pull a crew member to help train them on how it might be done. And so that was, who rolled that? You rolled that. That was afternoon, day 17, I believe.
I'm naming it the Cape of No Hope.
The Cape of No Hope. So the captain, I mean, it was a good idea, but do you not think we should turn around at this point? Or do you want to press on?
One more day.
I mean, do we want to press on by going north and see if we can go around the island up there?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too.
Well, whose turn is it for directions? Belinda?
North.
North it is. Well, really, you can go northwest or northeast.
Do northeast.
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 This is a little closer.
16 on the encounter, 3 on the. Is there somewhere to land?
Ah. So, is there somewhere to land? Yes, there is somewhere to land. This coast, as it is evening of day 17, is a rocky coast again. You can see there is a long shore of rocks. It might be half a mile, right? Mile. Long shore. Outcropping. And as you look through the rocks, you see there seems to be a path. Not natural path, but there's a where you can row your boat through. Captain wants nothing to do with it. She doesn't see any way you're getting a boat through that with the winds as they are. Even with gentle winds, she doesn't feel comfortable moving her boat. But you could row a boat through that channel if you would.
Does the channel look like there's like water coming out? Like it might be connected to some fresh water?
No, because as you look at the island more, this is part of the volcanic. This isn't the same island, but it's a chain of islands that are potentially, if not volcanic, these have those black rocks that you remember,
Okay.
very sulfury black rocks. That's what you see. It is evening.
So there's some sort of a channel we could row into, but
It's treacherous.
and it just looks like a pile of volcanic rock.
Mm-hmm. Not much. There is some life. There are some trees on this island, but you see the three big mountains, and they're ominous. What do you want to do?
I don't think it's worth going ashore here.
Okay. Shall we move on?
Sounds like it.
Okay. Ken.
I'm thinking let's go.
That's kind of tight.
East, northeast.
Northeast.
No, not that one. Not that one. That's west.
The one that you said was kind of tight.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless that's too tight.
It's pretty darn tight, especially.
Okay, then we shall go northeast then.
Yeah. Random and land?
Okay.
Well, no land, right?
And no, yeah, I don't think land.
Land.
Don't do land.
All
Just
right,
do random.
just random. Oh, that was very close to a 1. 19.
Yeah. So I know that fails, but during the evening of day 17, I think this would be 18. You're going on to 18. As you're going down for the night, the evening crew has come out for their manning of the boat. But as you're settling down, you hear the crew that's out there, ooh, ah, and you hear a commotion on top of the deck. And when you come out, they're all pointing to the sky. And what you see is the stars have come together, and they are shaped of a fish. The same fish that you saved. And Pappy says, what's the word for it? Come on. Pisces. No, Sekola? I think the word he uses is Sekola. Shitani. He's Shitani. Shitani.
It sounds like it's a good thing.
And what does Aquaman think?
Grix comes out. He's, wow, are the legends true? Shitani is the god of marine life under the sea. And as he says that, and do I have a picture of this? I think I have a picture of this somewhere. Oh no, it's in here. Which means it's in here. And the fish addresses the ship and says, "Fair humans of the sailing ship, I address you this evening. A gift of mercy is a gift returned. I am Shitani, the Tidebound, the Deal Dreamer. Speak what you wish, and it shall be yours."
Hey, you want to take this one?
We would like to know the direction to
What, just the location?
the location of the whatever we're searching for.
The pirate lair?
The pirate lair. Yes, thank you.
Could you ask for fresh water?
That's, if we each got a wish, that's what I was going to go for.
No.
Nope.
They asked
I'm thinking long term.
and he...
Well, it's right over there.
Yeah. You wish to know of other sailing ships where they make their harbor.
Be careful. That's right.
Pirate ships.
Can't tell the difference.
Ships that hunt other ships. And
Evil.
steal things.
Boats that are evil.
Yes.
Evil's perceptive. It's a perception.
And is this an agreement for all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very well. It'll be so.
Teleports the whole boat.
What?
Right to the...
He just said he wanted to know where. He didn't say magically take us there, but...
Turns out we just needed to go right at the start instead of left.
Yeah, it's way over here. No, it's not. You guys are in the right path. Not that it was going to be close. Let's see here. Can I possibly find it?
Pick the right one without any...
Do we need to close our eyes?
Close.
And he shows you on a map where it is. I'm just going to give you the island, not anything in between, though.
Yeah.
Huh. thought I'd been in here somewhere. Oh, that might be it. That might be it. Let me zoom in a little bit. Is that it?
Doesn't look like we're anywhere near it.
Well,
Where is slide 3 relative to slide 1?
Yeah.
that's not it. I was there. How about here?
It's like a pirate flag.
There's some dirt. No.
It's a pirate
There's something there.
Oh,
Pirate ship there.
good guess.
Oh, he's deleting.
Is that the outing we're on the other side of?
There it is.
Yeah, my question stands.
Right.
Where is slide 3 relative to slide 1?
Due south.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So
And
we're
is
not
slide
that
2 in
far
between?
away.
Well, there you do have.
Slide 2 is in between 1 and 3.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, there is overlap though.
So we need to go refuel, restock, and then go. So
Then go south. Yep.
I miss how far away are we from
A
it?
long ways.
A slide and a half.
So if we have 30 days of supplies, that means we can only go 15 days away from.
It's 45 tiles.
Unless you find a different source for fresh water.
Unless we find another source of fresh water.
And did we decide there was one at 2 or 4?
We could check that out on the way back. The waterfall did seem promising if we want to fight the chickens.
And that was at 2? Number 2 on the
I thought it was 4.
It was
Yep.
4? Okay.
No, it was 4 because 2 was the dinosaurs in the
And
distance.
it wasn't even 4. It
It's
was
the opposite side of the cove.
It was. I think it was this
Yeah.
kind of spot right there.
Okay.
I say we do that.
Oh,
We
right.
go back there. We get the fresh water. We got the food. It's twofer.
Do we have food?
Well,
Oh, right, because we can stock up. Yep.
Unfortunately, we spend half the time getting around the island.
was there 2 or 4? Was there like fruit or something in those
Just
green
chicken.
areas?
4 had the chicken, 2 had dinosaurs
Oh, okay.
fighting.
Okay. But you're thinking the chicken, we might either be able to snag ourselves a giant chicken or
At least an egg.
a giant egg.
Even a hen
Right.
would be a chick would be great.
How nourishing are your good berries?
They
Super.
make you, they make you feel full, but they don't heal you very much.
Okay.
and how many can you make?
I can make 10 a day.
Yeah, there's 30 people in this boat.
Actually, I can make 10 at a time. 10 a day.
30 crew plus us? Is that right?
Well, now it's 26 plus
Plus
you.
us. Okay. But you can't.
But okay, so with the old good berries, it was like 10 with a spell slot. Can you cast it multiple times, or did they
I
change
can.
that?
I can. So I can cast it up to 4 times. So it's 40 berries.
Too bad you don't have that create water.
Okay.
Or I was
But-
thinking,
Yeah, that'd be handy.
or that
we
the
were higher
drum
level
that you can
adventurers.
pour different liquids out of.
Mm.
But if you started doing that now.
They don't last forever. They go away after
Oh.
24 hours.
Oh, okay.
So, but I could.
So we could.
Food's not the problem.
You
Yeah.
stretch it. Okay. It's the water. Well, then, yeah. Then we want to go back to buy the chickens when you're number 4 rather than back to where we started. It's closer.
Yeah, let's try that. It'd at least be good to know. Though, I mean, it's still there's an entire island we'd have to go around, so it's not a very convenient location for where we want to go.
We roll the dice. We find somewhere else on the way, but
1 day, 2 day through eel infested water. 3 day, 3.5 days. You'll be there evening, morning, 4th day.
It is the closest source we know of.
yeah.
I say we just do that,
Do
and
that.
then
Okay.
we strike out for the south and we find whatever we can and restock them anyway.
We will have to fight the chickens.
Yes.
They didn't like us being near their waterfall.
I'd preferably take a chick or an egg.
Yeah.
So that they could stay
The
alive. and
but
mate
the nest
again.
was way up on the top of the mountain, right? Wasn't it?
I don't know if it was on
Or a
top of
cliff.
the mountain, but it was on. It was in the. It was under the waterfall, right?
Well, they certainly had a lair behind the waterfall, but I had initially described a nest at the top of the waterfall.
Oh.
Yeah. The hen kind of hid.
How
behind
how
the
tall
waterfall.
up was it?
60 feet, I believe.
Easy peasy.
I could cast darkness up there, and make it so they can't see anything, and maybe they will just cower in there while we refill.
Maybe Aquaman could swim up the waterfall.
I could put silence up there too.
Zelda.
I could put silence
Yeah.
on the
That
nest
might-
too.
But
Make it so no light comes in and no sound.
I'm trying to-
I think it's a solid plan.
At least
Actually, I think there's USB.
it gives us the best chance of not having to.
But you also need to
fight them.
transport all this fresh water
Never mind.
somehow, some way.
Right.
In 10 minutes. My silence goes away in 10 minutes.
Oh.
What's the blood work?
So okay,
I
can
can
we
cast it multiple times. Yes.
daisy chain all the barrels together and bring them? Or how many barrels fit in the rowboat?
4 maybe.
Enough charge.
In general.
With people.
With 2 people.
And they probably have 4 rowboats for the ship, which is probably not enough, but
So let's say 12
Well, and
barrels.
And how many barrels of water?
We make multiple trips.
If we spend the day, yeah, doing that.
so tell me your plan from the start.
So we
Which-
went to the waterfall.
It's morning of the
Get
4th
there.
day.
That's step one.
It's morning of the 4th day. Your ship is outside of. All right. You are now
Fighting.
here.
And are the giant chickens in their nest?
You would need to go look.
We can look with the telescope.
You look with the telescope, and as you look with the telescope, and you wait for an hour, you do see signs of the rooster kind of at the top of the hill.
Just the rooster.
Morning of day. So let me add.
No, the best plan would be right before sunrise, cast darkness.
So then they're awake. Now, birds aren't that smart. You put them in the dark, they think it's night.
We don't know how smart a giant
Yeah, really.
rooster is.
I think it's worth a try. I mean, no need to wait the whole day.
Yeah, how long can you keep them in the darkness?
An hour,
How big your darkness?
and then I can. How big is darkness?
Yeah. The
15-foot
we-
radius,
yeah.
so 30-foot diameter sphere.
we said the rooster
And I
was
just want to put it
huge,
on the
right?
entrance.
Huge is 15 by 15.
Yeah,
Okay.
But you're putting it where?
at the entrance to their little area.
Their lair. Now, I said the rooster was on top of the cliff, and we don't know where the hen is.
I'm gonna assume the hen is there.
Last time you knew the hen was behind the water.
Oh,
I say we go in.
I like your idea. Put darkness on the rooster, and hopefully.
Does darkness move?
I don't think it would in this case because I can't put it on a living thing. It's got to be like an object or like a point. Oh, it's an object. Okay. So I could cast it on like
The nest.
the nest or
Yeah.
something.
But it could just move right out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm hoping it'll go to sleep there.
Okay? Tell me your plan. I'll say one rowboat can fit 2 barrels of water with 2 people rowing it,
Oh,
and a third
it's
that's
not, it's 10
steadying
minutes, not
the
an hour. I was
the
incorrect,
barrels.
sorry.
So 3 people to a rowboat with 2 barrels. You have 4 rowboats you can utilize.
Let's get this done.
Okay. Yeah. So
I'll hold
Oh.
silence, and if she's under the waterfall, I'll cast silence on her, or something right next to her. So 40-foot diameter, silenced. So if she screeches for help, he won't hear it.
okay.
That's the idea.
And
we just gotta keep her
we've
in
got to
the
be
cave.
quiet down here.
All right. So we got 4 boats with 2 barrels each, heading for the waterfall.
Okay, you're rowing in, and you're rowing into this lagoon, right? The pretty fish underneath. We said the water coming over. The water in the lagoon would be brackish, right?
Mhm.
But the water coming off the waterfall, I said was fresh. I think I even said it was super fresh. Even so, you go up there with your barrels, and you're rowing in. I think this is stealth without. It's really not even your stealth because you can't stealth good enough with this. It's their perception. Now it's waterfall, so it's loud. A 17 and a 9. 17 and a 9. But filling up this water is really loud. So water's crashing down, and how are you putting these barrels underneath that waterfall? You just rowing your boat so the waterfall is landing on the rowboat?
We'll use palm branches to funnel
Is
the water.
Is the water is just hitting the seawater?
Yeah,
Or hitting the ground?
okay, a little of both probably.
Is there somewhere we can put the barrels?
Yeah,
And we gotta move them.
Yeah, but you don't just put a boat underneath
Right.
the waterfall.
No, I
It's gonna
agree.
sink the boat. Yeah.
that's I'm trying to picture this. There wouldn't be a nice flat level surface for you to set these barrels on.
That sounds like a luck check to me.
Ooh, a luck check. We'll set this at natural 20. 5. Nope.
So it sounds like our strongest person will hold the barrel.
Nice. Take
on
him
the
out of
rickety
any
ground.
defensive.
Yeah, sure.
Just hold it over here.
You try to MacGyver some system to channel off some of that water.
I
With
thought
like
the palms was a good
palm
idea.
fronds and
Palm fronds, yeah,
build a funnel thingy,
yeah.
and then
So-
Jeff will steady the barrels.
yeah. This
Stand in the cascading water
Uh-huh.
in slow motion.
Yeah.
You're getting real clean. Okay.
First
It-
bath he's ever had.
I think it's time for each of you to roll me a luck check.
I had a bath last year.
16.
11.
My modifier now. 'Cause I had a bunch of
See,
ones
we haven't
last week.
Oh.
We haven't had any new luck coming in a long time.
Heroic.
Wait, this is a
You
new
got
day,
some
right?
new luck last week.
Heroic
Yeah.
inspiration. Yeah, this is like the third
I
day.
rolled pretty terribly though.
Yeah.
5.
It's a new day,
A
right?
5. Yeah,
That's
yeah. It took us 4 days
Good,
to get here.
Good, because I need to not have that 2 be my roll. Okay,
Are
16.
you human?
It is true. I do have.
Heroic inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a heroic inspiration every long rest.
I mean, if you want to use it for this,
Yeah. 11.
that's better. What'd you get, Ken?
16.
That's better. 16, 11. You had
11.
11.
16.
Those are 16s and 11 around. So you're filling up those barrels, and I think that's the first one went pretty well. After you figured out how to do it to siphon off some of the, you had the fronds, and you're all kind of ushering the water over, and nothing has really poked its head out at you. But I think we're gonna have you roll that luck check. I'm gonna keep doing this until, damn it, I'm gonna kill one of you. All right. So you got the first barrel. Give me another luck check.
12.
12.
16.
So each
Nice.
15.
12.
All right. You got the second barrel. All right.
Okay.
4 luck checks for each barrel. That's good.
No.
Yeah.
Each boat, right?
We did each. I said each barrel.
Each barrel.
Yeah, we got 2 more.
2 more boats.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so how many? We had 4 boats of 2. So yeah, we did 2. This was the second 2. This would be the third set of 2.
Okay. 18.
Uh-oh.
5.
Oh,
You
that
said-
wasn't good. 4.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so now I think 15?
15 and 18.
Yeah, so you guys are doing just fine, but, you know, the weakest link
The other barrel
doesn't matter.
over.
As you guys drop your fawns and start cursing up a storm, and I think that's when the hen pokes its head
I'll
out.
cast silence on it. I would have cast silence. I don't know, maybe not.
I mean, this is your 3rd barrel. You might have done it the first
Yeah,
time.
I would say if I screwed up, I would have done something. I don't know.
You would have fumbled to try to get your frond back up.
I think
If I'm making
I
a
think
lot of
you
noise,
would I think you would cast it as a reaction to the hen showing up.
but
For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So I'll give you that. As it pokes it out and it sees you, and as soon as you react, you do it. But did the rooster hear it? I'm gonna say no. That was an 8 and 11. At the 8 with disadvantage because of the silence. It was just a short. It cut off. But now you're concentrating on that, and you got to piece this together. We were in the middle of the 3rd barrel, and so you try to use give me your strength or dexterity check, Ken and Noel.
It's 11.
11,
9.
9. Yeah, you don't seem to have it, but you have to concentrate on your silence.
What does that have to do with strength?
It has to do with concentrating on that versus making your frond work. I don't know, that's fine. All right, so eventually, no, because Ken didn't do so great on his strength check, right? Yeah. So we're struggling with the third barrel of water. We are on the 5th of 6, or 6 of 6 barrels, and we're struggling. What do you do?
So what do 5 barrels get us?
5 barrels of water. That's a lot.
Right. Does that
It's 2
restock
gallons a
us?
day
Does that
for
get us
30
another 10 days?
We said there's 30 people.
60 gallons of
So
water.
1 barrel takes care of
60 gallons.
2 days.
Okay, so this got us another 10 days. Maybe we cut our losses.
Can I carry the barrel closer?
You will struggle to put the barrel back on the boat. What do we say? 60-gallon barrel of water? How much does that weigh?
A lot.
A lot. But I know D&D rules, you can lift a
Few
silly
hundred
amount.
pounds.
Yeah. So what are you asking to do?
Well, my thought was if we're doing okay with our fronds and they're not, then cut them out and move the barrel closer.
You're moving their barrel under the water.
The 4 of you are doing this daisy chain to get the water
Right.
into the barrel.
Yeah.
The 4 of you are doing 1 barrel at the same time.
We're
okay.
doing just fine. They're not.
Their side is that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's going to take longer.
You've struggled, but your warlock is strength is giving out.
Like the barrel's gonna fall over, or just
No, like the barrel's no longer getting filled.
Okay.
Part 3 of the 4-part daisy chain has fallen.
Okay.
Jeff drops his frond and picks up the barrel and tries to move it closer so that you don't need 3. Bay can maybe
Okay.
keep watch.
Okay.
Alright, I keep watch.
He rocks it over kind of closer, and sloshes. You move closer. Now we have 3. Now we need 3 luck checks instead of 4.
13.
Me, right?
19.
4 plus 2, 6.
Yeah, Steve slips and falls again.
We are struggling with this 6th barrel. It is not getting filled
How
up.
many minutes has it been since the last barrel?
It takes. How long does it take to fill up? It takes 10 minutes to fill a barrel.
And I'll have to cast silence again.
Yeah.
Is the hen still
Yeah.
squawking silently?
Well, how long does it? After 10 minutes, I think it's going to give up. It's not like you're threatening it.
Yeah.
You're just down here. And it squawked and nothing came. I think it gave up.
I'm not going to take a chance. If we want to get out of here.
All right. It's been a half hour, and you finally got that 6. Well, you got them on the boats. Fine. You have the last 2 barrels. All right. I'm going to roll this. 5 and under, we start combat with the rooster. Right? 5 and under. I'm going to roll it twice, once for each barrel.
He's asleep. In the darkness.
18. You
Right.
have
It's
the
been long enough that
the 7th barrel is
my
full.
darknesses would have worn off.
This 5 and under. This is going to be the rooster. 17. You're clear. You got all 8 barrels.
Woohoo. Get out of here.
You got them on the boat. You row back. Nope. That was a 6. And then as you finally get out 6, you see its head poke over the water. If you've ever heard a real rooster, they don't really say cock-a-doodle-doo. They just make this weird-ass screech. But you make it back to the boat with your 8 barrels of water. 8, and we said 2 days per. So that's 16 more days.
Okay.
All right.
Fastest route out of here.
All right.
And
Fastest route south.
what day is it?
It is day 21. It is the now. By the time you get back on the boat, it is now afternoon of day 21.
Okay. And we started with 30, right? So we got still 9 days of our original water supply plus what we just got.
Yes.
16. Okay.
Plus,
16 plus 9 is 25.
say
So we got 25 days of water now.
You have 25 days of water.
it's basically every 15 days baking make 1 barrel. Is that what we mathed it out to be?
It sounds right.
If you spend all your time babysitting your
Well, you taught
oh,
crew
you taught
member.
someone else how to do it. Okay. Okay. Cool.
So on the way here, we took the northern route above the sea serpent. Are we doing that again?
Can you zoom out?
No. Why? Why?
Because I want to see what's.
How far we have to go south.
So what?
To get
so
onto the
we,
other-
We have 3 maps to go south.
yeah. So either.
Right, but which way's the best out of this map?
Well, you know there's no way south on this map.
In the middle. It's So it's
Your only hope for south is maybe here.
curl around to the west side of this or the east side of this.
Do we not know what's on the east side?
We didn't do much
Give me
east.
something.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4 days. I'll put you here. Or 4 days. I'll put you back here.
I like
I
that.
think continuing west makes the most sense, just in case we decide we got to come back.
Okay.
That way, if for some reason this way becomes a dead end, we can just go back to base, restock fully, and then hit the ground running.
So
And
we would circle back in the most direct path, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the pirate place is on the west side of
On the east
slide number
of
3.
the island.
West side of the island.
East side of the island.
No, if I said east, I was mistaken. It's
Well, you
on,
showed us a picture of it.
Go down to slide number 3 for a second.
I thought it was on the west.
it is on the west. So I don't know what I showed you, but it's on the west. That's
Right
the
there.
that's the west side. Oh, it's The icon is on the east side of that small island.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
The island itself is on the west side of the
Right.
island's
Okay.
dread.
The map. So that's why I'm saying, yeah, go west and south, and then south.
Sounds good. Let's spend 3 days doing that.
Well, 4 days.
4 days.
4 days. It'll be the morning of day 25,
Monster thing.
and I will put you, whoever wants to, I will put you here, here, or here. I suspect you'd want to be here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'll put you here. This is morning of day 25. Morning. Delete. And I'm going to take off 4 days of water. So we're now at 21.
So we've been at sail for a month, and we're probably another 3 months from the pirates. 2 months.
Well, we're not gonna putter around as much now that we know where we're going.
True.
Now you don't care about
Well, we
looking
know
for
where the
land.
pirates are. We still
right?
need to figure out where the other thing is.
Well,
What other thing?
your objective. Why are you even here?
To hunt pirates.
No. That is not why you are here. You commissioned this boat for a reason.
That's here somewhere in these islands too.
That is why you went here.
The pirates is
Was-
part of the captain's mission.
I think some
They
of us
want out of it.
assumed that it was known where the large idol was, but
The large idol is on this island somewhere.
somewhere.
All right, let's head south. Let's get this underway.
Delete, delete, delete.
It's all southwest then. I'll go.
Alright. Delete.
Did you roll at least a natural 1?
No.
No.
2.
Oh no, spinning beach ball.
That's the random encounter. It was a beach ball
No,
floating
no,
in the
that-
ocean.
Alright, we're on day
A
26.
giant beach ball comes out of nowhere.
Afternoon of day 26. I think. And you rolled for random counter and got one, right?
Yes.
That would be hilarious. The spinning beach ball. like that.
Big Pac-Man.
It had to be a beach ball day. What were you thinking?
So- Hey, what's the weather like? Partly cloudy, gentle seas, moderate 10 to 15. The water is beyond your depth gauge. And on the deck, you had a pair of crewmen all circled around. And they start to fight. Parts of the crew start. One of them's holding back. They're rah! And everyone roll a
What time of day
d20.
is it?
It is afternoon of day 26.
Is this just 80-20?
Just roll a d20.
I'm not rolling like that anymore. 3.
3,
Find a different die.
12.
12,
16.
There's
Ken?
Dave's.
Yeah, I got
1. Do
16,
I get luck for rolling a 1?
I've been rolling
Sure.
like that. I think I need to stop.
16.
Uh-huh.
Belinda, you're standing right here in this doorway. Oh, the barrel, not the barrel.
Roll out.
And you were watching them rolling dice. And what they each had a pair of dice. They each had 2d6, if you would, and they would roll it, and they would cover it up, and everyone had an ante, all right, and then they would bet. They would say, I will throw in a copper because I think I won, and so they're rolling dice, right, and but one of them got mad. This is usually Pappy. Is this? Did you? Is
Yeah,
that?
that's Veracak.
Oh, Veracak. Yeah. One of the dragon board on the ship. He and torches the guy's clothing. It starts, and there's a scuffle. What do you do?
I guess I'll try to break it up, or they
Yeah, you step in between them. What do
fight
you?
because I thought one of them.
And how do you do it? How do you break them up? You.
Not gonna waste water. I know that. Just try to get between them and bring them back.
All right. Give me a persuasion check. Oh yeah. And you do that. Old subject. Then the dwarf. Oh, what's going on here? You guys pipe down. But he stole. He cheated at the. You guys know how I feel about dice. He says, "Okay, everyone, you roll again, and if you beat me, I'll look the other way. But if I win, you're gonna spend the day swabbing the deck."
Me to roll for the players.
You can roll for yourself.
Oh, I'm in on this too now. Okay.
Oh! Well, okay. If there's any more uprising, though, if this happens again, you'll all be swabbing the deck. Hey, you rolled an 8. There's your encounter. All right. Who rolled that? Wes did?
It's now his turn.
Wes, we are now evening of day 26.
Oh, right. Yeah. You rolled that.
That's per usual. Let's hope this holds.
Oh, which way? I assume you want to go south?
Oh, yeah.
There are
yeah.
seas heading
South
south.
and southwest. Yeah. Southeast doesn't make sense. Two.
You guys.
So much for no distractions. We're just going to go straight south.
Yeah.
We know where we need to go.
Hey, is there water on the land? We could refill it.
Well, this is.
Oh, well,
I know we're gonna have an encounter, but
Check for landing.
we could use a refill.
You
of
can
water.
check for landing.
5.
Okay, I had stopped tracking land. Resetting it at 2. 5's not good enough. Your random encounter on the evening of day 26 is as the sun sets and you look over the rocks, you see a shimmer. And you swear, as you Jeff were looking over you swear you saw something, a being of some sort float. It was almost like the fish, but it was multicolored and pretty. There was something shimmering in the dusk, and the lights coming from behind you as the sun sets.
Hey, Cook, what did you put in the food?
And Chef Cookie goes, "Well, you was criticizing my food. This is the same food we've been eating for the last month."
I found some mushrooms.
There's some mushrooms going back there. I just thought I'd start tossing it.
There's something on the wing.
So that's what you see. Off in the rocky shore, the beach, you see a shimmering.
There's a shimmer out there, a mirage.
Is it?
Or maybe not.
What do you do?
Eyeglass time.
What did you say?
Eyeglass.
Spyglass.
The spyglass.
You grab the spyglass
Sure.
and you peer through it. So you're doing the perception check.
Sure.
And you hear people, "You mean that fish-guided thing is going? You think it'll grant us another wish?"
16.
16. And as you're looking at it, and it's dark, you see some great wings that are tall and thin like paper, and they start to flap out. These wings are probably 5 feet by almost 10 feet tall.
Oh And I can't see what they're attached to.
Well, you see this huge... They're moths. There's some giant moth. And as it flutters, you could see this dust falling from it. And this dust sprinkles. Why don't you, as you pass the thing around, give me a history. Each of you give me a history check. Or Arcana if it's better.
7.
7?
19.
19.
2.
10? 10? 19. What this reminds Belinda of is that powder that the chief had used when he was doing the illusions, his casting his illusions. This moth-like
coming off the moth.
Yeah, it's like a dust falling off from this moth that's flitting from stone to stone. It'll land, and the shimmer will settle, and you can see its little antennas kind of just dipping into something in the water.
I wonder if they harvest this.
Yeah. He gave you some, right? Do you still have some of that powder?
You have a little pouch of powder.
Okay.
We'll let you cast minor illusion.
Is it worth trying to get some more, or do we...
I mean, yeah, it has some sort of illusion properties to it.
Have you ever tried to catch a moth?
I don't know if to catch it, we could.
This is a
Collect it from-
large creature.
Yeah, I'm just assuming we could pick it up off the ground or skim it off the water.
Might be able to. Grab the rowboat
During the evening.
in the evening.
Yeah, you guys want to row out there and see if you
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
What's the worst that
I
can
don't know
happen?
what's worse
Yeah.
could possibly happen.
I
Okay.
don't know if I want. I've already got a pouch.
You can stay behind.
Again,
Cleric's not staying behind.
I'm just thinking again, if we can get off the ground or off the water, I'm not looking to
Never
piss
leave
off a
your
giant
wingman.
moth just
Never
for some
leave your wing-
flu powder.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you guys think it's worth the risk, I'll go along.
Yeah. That's debatable.
What do you do?
You've got the powder. I have minor illusion. It wouldn't surprise me if our bard friend has minor illusion as well.
I think I do too. Sort of a form of it with my elementalism. It's not really mine to do, man. Anyway,
I mean, Jeff's not going alone. If nobody else wants to go, then, you know.
It's probably voice of reason. Probably better not to.
We have a long way to go.
okay.
Okay.
Decided not to. And as you pull away, from out of the sky comes this giant rock. The pterodon swoops on and grabs it, and as it flies away.
There's always a bigger bird.
There's always a bigger bird. All right. That was
Dust
evening
falling.
Yeah.
of day 26. So we're back to morning. Take another day's worth of water off.
You rolled that one?
Mm-hmm.
And first, I assume you want to go straight west?
Yeah. Random 10. Beach 9.
All right.
Save my battleship.
Nothing happens.
A20.
Ken, you want to go straight south or
All right,
south?
let's go
southwest?
Southwest. Yep. And then a 17 for random and a 15 for land.
All right, that's afternoon, day 26. Evening, day 26. Noel, straight west, I assume?
Yes. 18.
Almost to the edge of the map.
Do I get to roll for land?
Not unless you don't want to.
I do.
Okay, roll for
And that's a 10.
All right.
Because if there's
Yeah, you never
water,
know.
I want to be able to capture that.
Okay. Wes, I could put you here. That's awful close. I'd rather put you here. As you, that has rocks in it,
Okay.
and random.
17.
All right. Land. You don't really see land though, so
Yeah, I was,
yeah. So, but random was good. That was evening. We are now on day 27, morning day 27, and we have 19 days left of water.
Random.
Well, first of all, you move there, right?
Oh, there's more map on over here. Okay.
Oh,
I thought we were on the edge of the slide.
Let's see where the edge is.
Okay.
All right, so you can see some land if you want to roll for land.
Did you move the boat already?
I did.
You did? Okay. So land is 6.
6. So as you peer way out of the land, you see land off to the distance. Let's see what kind of land you see. Random encounter on the isle. We already did that one.
Random encounter with Sandals Resort.
What you see is on the coast is you see this beach, and on the beach you see a huge ass brontosaurus
You see a huge ass.
of a brontosaurus, which is basically a long tail. Half its tail is probably in the water.
What's the Al Pacino? Great ass.
Right here.
it's got to drink water. Where there's animals.
Let's put it here. Do you want to go investigate a brontosaurus on a beach that is laying on its side dead? As you look at it through your telescope, you notice there's something strapped to its back.
And it's dead. Looks like it's dead.
It's dead.
There's something strapped to its
Kind of
back.
intrigued by the something strapped to its back.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
somebody
it's
was
like
riding it.
Yeah.
But it's a brontosaur.
Yeah.
So that, I don't know, what is that, gargantuan? It is as big as your ship,
Yeah,
probably.
That may mean we found Fred Flintstone's quarry. Okay, well that was my move, so I guess Ken, it's your turn to move.
Well,
Or is this?
this is the land encounter for you that you.
Oh, that we can go land if we want to.
Mm-hmm. But
Okay.
we said this was morning and day 27.
Then yes, let's go land.
You row into the beach, and huge flies flying around this thing. The smell is horrible. You row up, and you start to investigate.
Yeah,
What's
no,
on his back?
Well, first of all,
Yeah.
you do notice these flies,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know that we want to get too close, but we want to look at what's on its back.
You see that there's some sort of strapping that goes all the way around its torso, like belts or ropes or something is strapped, a structure to the brontosaurus's back.
Okay, but we can't tell. It's not like obviously a saddle or a.
Well, a saddle would be the correct word, because a saddle would be like for a horse. This is you. Are you familiar with the term a howdah?
That's like
It's a structure.
platform, Yeah.
If you think Lord of the Rings,
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
this is a structure.
Elephants.
Yeah, the elephants. Yeah,
Okay.
this is some sort of platform was strapped to this creature's back, but no, it's on its side.
Any tracks?
You
in the
are
sand
still-
or anything.
You are still in the water because you didn't want to get that close because of the flies,
Okay.
is what I've gathered so far. If you want more information, you're gonna have to go on shore.
I think we could go on shore, but a ways from it. We don't want to be.
So you go to shore and you are 100 feet away from it. There's still you're
Would I
not.
know a smell that would keep flies away from me?
Nature or animal handling.
Okay, nature.
Make what are those?
We'll do
candles?
nature.
Oh, citronella.
Yeah,
or
citronella.
Okay.
peppermint.
Peppermint,
It's supposed
yeah.
to work on some bugs.
Did you roll?
Mucho.
Say
An
again.
8.
An 8? You're not familiar with anything that. I mean, you've heard stories of natural remedies for like mosquito repellent, but flies.
Well, I'll just pick something then. So I'll use prestidigitation, and I'll make a odor around myself, like a campfire.
Like a campfire. Okay, roll a luck check.
And now I smell like food.
That's what I'm wondering.
14.
14. From this distance, you've created this. You have the smoky aroma all around you. You don't know if it's affecting the flies at all. They seem to be more concerned with the stinky brontosaur.
Okay. Now that I've done that, I will bravely walk forward.
You bravely walk forward.
I want to go check out the thing in the back.
The Braves.
You want to check the what?
Bravely ran away. As I did how-
The structure.
on
The structure on its back. Okay. The other three of you, you're just watching.
Yep. And
You're
I just wanted to look at, like, is there tracks of where to tell which way this
roll
thing
your
came
perception.
Cause of death.
from? 11.
Yeah, you from this distance you can't see anything.
Is there a trail of blood? Was the body moved or was it murdered here?
From this distance, roll your
It's,
perception.
it's a half joke.
Has anyone made a white chalk outline around it?
Yeah. But I will do
Isn't
like
it amazing how bodies just fall into the chalk outlines all the time?
yeah, right.
It's uncanny.
Perception. That is a natural 1.
A natural 1.
There.
There's a brontosaur there.
Is there?
Yeah. You're quite certain.
You sure it's
Is it a
dead?
dinosaur?
Are you doing anything?
I wanted to.
From 100 feet away.
Yeah, I wanted to ask the same question basically.
What was the question?
What was the cause of death?
Okay, yeah.
I just rolled the wrong way. That's a 15.
15. From this distance, I mean, the body is kind of sunk in a little bit, but I will give you that there seems to be gashes on its side. Matter of fact, there might even still be a spear coming out of its side.
Okay.
A first world
All right.
sphere or a aborigine sphere?
Well, I think you got enough for your 15. Ken, you walk up, and as I guess the first question is, you rolled what on your nature check? An 8?
My nature.
What? Yeah.
I think it was an 8. Let me look back here. Yes, an 8.
All right. So the flies are going to attack you on an 8 or better. A 14. You see these flies start to swarm around you. You guys see the flies start to swarm around Bay, and we will roll initiative. And this is where we'll start next week. You are 100. You are 100 feet in front of these guys. All right. You have 100 feet between you. I don't know what you're rolling for.
It's an initiative.
Oh yeah, we'll roll initiative when we start next
Oh,
week.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, phew. Okay,
Yeah.
good, because that was a terrible initiative roll.
We'll start with initiative next week, and that way maybe someone else will be with us. Maybe 2 people. Who knows? As flies attack as you approach the brontosaurus. Oh, fun night. We covered a lot of ground. Now I have to write a whole bunch more random encounters.
See, I was half thinking earlier when we were at the natives camp, like, I wonder if we could explore this cave system, and force Dave had to create a map of the cave system on the fly.
Well, the good news is they have a map for the cave system.
Oh, do
They
they?
have a generic Neanderthal map, which does actually have 3 sets of hides in it. So I wasn't making that up. Now, as far as they give you the cave system, but they don't give you. It would have just been their living quarters, right? There's nothing in there other than the living quarters. So the real encounter was outside. Could I have populated it with some? I suppose. Could they have been the terrafolk come in and desecrate?
Desecrate.
Could have done that. We'll have to go back and watch the video, see how this worked, Ken. But I think, did you use the features at all?
I did. Yes. No. Having the live thing on the map was definitely very helpful.
Yeah, we didn't do much with the boat today. So I don't. Maybe the boat's not necessary. Maybe I should move that off to the side, and have.
I think it depends what we're doing. It's kind of nice to have.
Yeah.
Well, I can have it
I mean,
here.
the serpent or the boat was very helpful.
And I can
Yeah.
put it on. That way we can put things out on the table for these encounters we have on
Sure.
land.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the boat would be easy to put back on there. So maybe I'll do that for next week. Okay.
You can modify the table so it's on a crank, and then you can just flip it over. Have the boat on one side.
Not gonna happen. Yeah.
You got a week.
Yeah.
You're retired. I mean,
Yeah.
you have
What else will I
leisure
do?
time.
I did volunteer for the Washington D&D camp that's in the second week of July. So I'm going to run 3 panels. One panel on combat techniques. They're going to have, they have some guy that is coming, he's writing a combat. So they're having one track for the players to go through to learn combat techniques, and another track for the dungeon master to go through to how to run a combat. And then my players go play their DMs around tables, and they guide them through this encounter. And so I'm supposed to tell these guys how to be players in a combat, how to do good combat.
D&D camp for like kids or anybody?
Kids, high schoolers, high school kids,
And-
Washington High School.
Okay.
And that's one. Another one I'm doing is an overview of all the different role-playing games you could play. And I've got the list
Oh,
of the
boy.
I found a list of the top 50 from last August, of which Shadow Dark's not in it. Dread, that I know how to play, isn't in it. So we'll see.
That's a list of 50. You could sub a few in.
Well, I have AI. It will tell me all about these.
Yeah.
And so I've come up with 10 different ways to dichotomies of judging a role-playing game, and so I can judge these or have AI do it for me, and I can talk about these 50 different I'm going to say, here are the 10 different ways you can judge a role-playing game. Is it high in role play, or is it high in combat strategy, right? Or dice rolling, right? That for example, that's one dichotomy. All right. So that's, and then the last panel I'm running is differences between 5th edition and 2024. So that is in July. So I have to prepare for those though.
So when you say panel, it's you with
I
students?
assume there'll be a classroom, and there'll probably a whiteboard, maybe a projector. I don't know what do classrooms have anymore.
Smartboards.
Smart. Yeah, I was gonna say screen.
Do they have screens?
Either projector or
Smartboard.
screen.
Yeah,
Dr.
like
Red has commented
the
again.
easels that you can draw on.
Oh, yeah?
You can project on.
Dr. Ed, is he currently there? How long ago did you comment?
3 minutes ago.
Hey, Dr. Ed, thanks for tuning in. I don't know how much you watched. Hopefully it was entertaining for you. I know now you know what our Thursday night show is. It's very much this. We had 4 of our players, 3 in person, 1 live remote, and we played Dungeons and Dragons. We are going around the Isle of Dread, and we had a resource issue with water, which we kind of figured out tonight. We also they saved a fish, which ultimately granted them a wish gave them the location of the pirate lair that they were looking for, but they still have to get there, right? Which they know is way south along the very north-south heavy Isle of Dread, and basically they can do 3 tiles in a day, and this is taking friggin' forever. So, and then once they get it done with that, then they have to land on the island and go investigate the island to see if they can find this. Hopefully things get faster somehow, some way. Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
It's a crawl.
It's a crawl. I still think it's pretty awesome myself. However, the pressure's on me because they keep rolling frickin' random encounters to come up with more. The Isle of Dread, the book, does have a list of 100 random encounter, but they'll have blocks of 10. You encounter a brontosaurus. Okay, I have to come up with what that brontosaurus encounter really is. So that's what we're doing, and we'll be back next week for the next episode of Dave's Imaginations presents Iron Mordroc, Isle of Dread. So until then, thanks for Dr. Ed. Appreciate you, man. That's awesome. He is one of the guys that tuned in yesterday to help us figure out some of this. I think it worked out pretty good. And so until next time, thank you. We'll see you next week. All right.
Bye.
All right. Signing off. Signing off. And stop recording.
See you guys later.
You know.
So is it just someone who found you on YouTube?